They've got the forwards who can kick a goal. Reynolds is very important for them. Jesse White's been playing well. I think he had 21 touches last week, Jesse White around the ground. Partington in the midfield. So when you look at the Crows, we mentioned Paddy White, Paddy Wilson, sorry. And the other one is Paholke's an important player for them. But for me, the Tigers by a couple.
I think you went each way then. What about you, Bernie?
Yeah, no, I'm going to stay with the Tigers. If they can get their handball game going, I think they can get the Crows. As long as they can look after the Crows' tools and allow them to swing back, I think the Glenelg can get the Crows today.
Young and hungry and ready to go for me, the Crows. Michael?
Yeah, Ben Davis comes back into the side after a couple of weeks suspension, so he'll add something to them. And I think the Crows will get it done.
2-2.
Well, that's it. We know nothing. We'll soon find out.
We'll see which end wins.
Yeah, that's right.
Peter Walsh, Michael Maney, Bernie Marnie and Grant Coffey waiting now for Andrew Crosby, Rowan Hundermark and Thomas Bryce, who are the three umpires, assisted by Braden Thiel, Scott Hargraves and San Royans, with Isaac Fishlock on the boundary. And in the goals, Matt Cummins, Matt Williams, and and James Georgiadis, who is standing by if he is required to render assistance. As the theatrics build, and now we start our coverage. Peter Walsh and Michael Maney, the callers, Bernie Marnie and Grant Coffey, providing us with their expert knowledge of this particular game as White tries to tap the ball away. Grabbed by Hunter, went the hand pass out towards the centre wing position, picked up by Bradley. Bradley got a hand pass. Partington did well to Bailey. Bailey's kick in towards the half-forward line for the Glenelg team. It bounces past McBean. He's going to try and lay the tackle. Couldn't quite do so. Hand pass comes to Wright, close to the boundary line. Work back inside. Neat play. Or Bailey goes in for the tackle. And he knocks the ball over the boundary line away from Wilson. And there will be a throw in. For the digital pass coverage of this prelim final, Michael Maney.
Pretty hot early. You'd expect that in the prelim final. Glenelg have just tried to push that ball forward. Partington getting an early touch, which is good for him to settle the nerves. White just got himself to the front. Hunter missed it. Running onto it is Bradley. Just a little left footer. Close was there. Scott just wheels around. Brushes a couple off. Now to Partington for the Bays. Now flicks it out wide with a kick to White. White's right on the 50. White goes long. It's a big kick by White. Up they fly. Big mark has been taken by Reynolds. Oh, he flew. He judged it well and ended up taking it on his chest.
Yeah, can't he do that, Michael? He's great in the air and he had the sit. The kick was an absolute ripper there by Jesse White. He had McBean leading for him but decided to go to the square. Bit of better penetration on the kick and absolutely flew for it.
Reynolds from the 10-metre square gets the Bays underway in the prelim final. What a start. They are 1 goal straight, 6. Adelaide yet to score.
Yeah, it did come about because Glenelg got their handball going. They moved the Crows' back line where they wanted and got space out the back for Reynolds. I mean, that's what they're really good at, Glenelg. They'll have 3 or 4 handballs set up to get their forward line in control, get the backs moving where they want them, open up the chessboard and go for it.
Interesting note too, Peter. Luke Partington, couple of early touches, so his nerves are settled after a big week.
Yes, I reckon that there'd be a fair bit on. He'd have a lot to look forward to and to be charging around and getting himself involved in the most important game of his career. We saw the reserves and the under-18s earlier on. Gee, there was some nerves and a little bit of, I'll pick the ball up and then you can, but didn't do that. Agnew comes in inside the centre square. The ball tapped away by Hunter. Over towards Wilson, who can't gather. Tapped off the ground, back to the centre wing position. Close does well. Hand pass Partington is good. Hand pass Motlop's even better. He's kicked down towards full forward. Clears the pack. Reynolds can't get back in time. And it's trickled through for a 1 behind result. Glenelg 1-1-7. Adelaide yet to score in the first quarter. We've gone 3 minutes thanks to Bone Timber. They're responsible for the first goal kicker. And that, of course, for Glenelg was the big beefsteak himself, Luke Reynolds.
Hamill goes to the wing for the Crows and finds McAdam on the lead. Took it on the chest. He's hurt himself too. Under pressure from Joseph and McAdam. Quite sure he's caught one in the chops there.
I think he might have, Michael, just when he went to ground. Kicked 3 goals last week and he can fly for the footy.
The easiest kick in football is to take a handball, run around the back, but McAdam decides to load into forward 50. Himmelberg, got his fingertips on it, should have taken it, then dropped it. Proud wanted ball, and then Maxi Proud He's going to get the free kick. Nice little tackle there. Himmelberg should have taken it.
Yeah, he should have taken it. He pushed his opponent, Maxi Proud, under the footy, and he just sort of bobbled it, and Maxi Proud came back on the second effort.
Proud's kick. McBean pushed out of the contest. Picked up by McAdam. He's kicked for the Crows towards half forward. Loose ball.
McHenry.
Charging back is dangerous. McHenry swings the ball towards full forward. It's going to go through for the first score for the Adelaide team. It's a behind. Glenelg 1-1-7. Adelaide are behind in the first quarter. We've gone 4 minutes.
Yeah, Himmelberg, he's just getting a little bit too far underneath the ball, I think, Koff. He's a big guy. He's going to take one step back. I think he's misjudging on the flight of the ball.
Scott got underneath it. Scholl couldn't take the mark for the Crows. Scott goes back in after it, and they just throw themselves on the football, and the umpire will ball it up. 1-1-7. Glenelg, one behind Adelaide. It's been going 4.5 minutes first term in the prelim final. Taken out of there by Wilson for Adelaide. Handball looking for Davis, but it rolls out of play, and last touch out of bounds. It'll go to Bradley. So Bradley at half back, between half back and the wing, you would say, on the broadcast side of the ground. Goes in short and finds the smooth moving Marlon.
I like Marlon's blue boots. He's playing at half-back. He can move about the place, and with skill, he's kicked 20 goals this year, so he doesn't always stay in defence. Partington, another wonderful tap forward. Agnew in towards half-forward, delivered it beautifully. Partington runs. Hand pass will go neatly into the player running past Scharenberg, and Scharenberg delivered so neatly, did not have to break stride. And when you were screaming down the ground and you've got your forwards moving, particularly Luke Reynolds, he was there, he was the target, and he gobbled up the short pass.
Yeah, he did, and Scharenberg just held the kick there, just waited for the option to appear. And Jordan Butts, who was so good last week, he's got his hands full at the moment, with Reynolds already kicked one.
Reynolds at 45. Distance won't be a problem. The accuracy won't be a problem. It's a goal to Glenelg. They've kicked two. Reynolds have kicked them both. The Tigers, 2-1-13. Adelaide are one behind. Digital pass coverage of the prelim final. 6 minutes gone. Grant Coffey, this time last week, and I know you can't turn the clocks back, Crows had kicked 3 goals, and we were thinking about what's going on out there.
Yeah, they've got off to a flyer here, and one of the keys for Glenelg today, even with Liam McBean, if he doesn't have a big day, gives Luke Reynolds the opportunity to get off the chain a bit, because he's that sort of perfect fall as that second forward lead-up option. And as we've seen already, one huge mark in the goal square and one nice lead-up, and he's a beautiful left-foot kick.
McBean's been a man that's been able to get the ball to ground and allow those little players to be able to crumb, and that's important. So a couple of goals, 2-1-13 to the Bays. Luke Reynolds, 48 goals for the season, including those two. And just a one behind for Adelaide. Good bounce. Ball knocked down. No one can take it. Oh, beautifully done by White. White kicks it inside 50. Where's McBean? Ball flicks over the back. Here's Motlop. He may kick another one. He rolls it through. The Tigers are on fire. 3-1-19. To Adelaide, one behind. We've gone 7 minutes in the prelim final.
Yeah, they're just freewheeling at the moment. I mean, they got the Crows right underneath the pump. I mean, they're winning it with ease out of the middle. I mean, they're taking it straight off the ruckman's hands rather than letting it hit the ground and turning it into a 50-50 ball. And they're really prepared to go really deep to McBean, and you know, look, it's really looking really good for the Tigers. They've really settled beautifully.
What do you think of Motlop up at full forward?
Yeah, well, he's a goal kicker. He can play through the midfield, but also forward. I think he kicked a couple of goals last week, but I think you could see the future there, Michael, because once again, Liam McBean, the ball went to him, brought the ball to ground, and then the ball got over the back, which is for the Crows defenders. That's what you don't want to happen. And a good finish there by Motlop.
And the fresh face of young Costa, that centre half forward. I'm sure Dad would be here and be cheering on young Josh from the middle. Almost knocked away again there by Jesse White, and went in hard. Hand pass comes out of the pack. Errant hand pass from Paholke into half forward. Umpire says play on as Agnew was thrown to the ground. Picked up by Partington again. He's kicked. Motlop from behind. The ball will fall. The ball will not go anywhere. He jumps all over it. It's kicked off the ground.
Off the ground.
Off the ground again for a goal. Excuse me, what is going on out there? Glenelg have kicked 4. 4-1-25.
What's McBean?
Adelaide have kicked one behind. We've gone 8 minutes of this first quarter in an extraordinary start to any final, particularly a knockout preliminary final. All Tigers.
What a goal for a big guy.
on his left boot and that hamstring.
Yeah, that's
as well.
right. No, he had to bend down and pick it up first. That's 14 feet. Yeah, he was on his knees when he kicked it.
202 centimetres, Michael, he is. And that was poor defending, though, by the Crows. They should have got someone in there. He was just able to get down and just threw it on the boot, able to stand up just about in the tackle we can see on the replay and put it through for his first goal. This is a fast start by the Tigers.
Goal number 50. So he's got his half century, Liam McBean. And here it goes, back in the centre. Just a backhander from Hunter. Agnew's been really prominent. Scharenberg taken, looked to be high, no free kick. Umpire hovers and says, I'll ball it up. What a start by the Tigers. Goals at the 2, 6, 7 and 8 minute mark. Reynolds a couple, Motlop and McBean the others.
Yeah, they're winning it at ground level. They're winning it all over the ground, Glenelg. I mean, the Crows can't get into their forward half at all.
Another stoppage, and Jesse White's been pretty good for them too. And another ball up in the centre.
Push Fogarty in there now to try and get a bit of weight into that, midfield.
They won the clearances last week, Adelaide, but at the moment it's Glenelg dominating, and Agnew, who's back at the club this year, is having a good start to this game.
Kicked off the ground by Fogarty. Awkward bounce, Partington. Out through half, back through Proud. Close. Got a bad bounce. He's got a couple of teammates there. In goes Costa. Gee, Costa's been good. Close comes back for a bit more. Through the hands of Bradley. Costa's got to go again. He does. Matthews there. We saw his explosive pace last week. Butts just thrown off the ball. Well done by Agnew, another possession. Bradley just threw it on the boot. Crows should get it here. It flicks over the back to McBean, or is it a free kick? There is a free kick for a push in the contest. It's going to the Adelaide Crows, and I think it's coming back to, is it Hamill?
Well, the Crows in disarray at the moment. Need to take control of the ball, hang on to it for a while and do something. Paholke, he's at half back. 4-1 to nothing.
Yeah, the Tigers, Peter, they're at another level of intensity at the moment.
They certainly are. Paholke's kick. Himmelberg will fly from behind, can't take it. Paddle towards the safety of the boundary line. Neatly gathered there by Stengel. He now kicks quickly in towards the half-forward line. McAdam lost control of the ball. Crows with numbers at half-forward, picked up by Jones. Jones has kicked deep in towards the full-forward position, running back and taking a fine grab in defence. A good solid mark there for the Glenelg team, taken by McCarthy.
Yeah, Glenelg don't have to push right up now. They don't have to go up when they're pressing to follow the Crows. So they left 2 or 3 behind the play because they got the relief of the scoreboard at the minute.
Joseph about to get Collett for Glenelg. Partington back to Scharenberg. Scharenberg pulled the kick nicely to Agnew in the centre. Agnew wants this side of the ground. The broadcast side goes to Bradley. So they're spreading it expertly. Here's Gregson. Now Gregson could have a bounce if he wanted to. Decided to lower the eyes and look for close. Clean bowled him. Crows will take it back out of defence through Otten. Otten's little 15-metre just got it to Merritt. And Merritt takes the mark at half back for the Crows. Little short kick finds Matthews.
Running hard enough, the Crows. That's their
Dangerous
problem.
kick.
Yeah, 2-on-1, and the ball spills. Paholke was lucky enough to be there. Got a call over the back, and that was terrific work from Boyle, and he'll get a good bounce here, Boyle.
Boyle chased by Partington. Boyle's kick could be dangerous. No, it's not. Found the target in Miles Paholke, who at centre wing drills the ball down the ground and kicks it very nicely indeed, and charging out to take the mark. In that position is James Matthews.
Good running there, Peter. He was involved in the play on centre wing grandstand side, so he's bolted about 100 metres to get on the end of that one. He kicked 4 last week, and we saw his electrifying pace as well. Fantastic to watch last week.
Matthews will kick from 50 on the left boot. Makes good contact. Is it going to go through? I think it is. No one touched it. It's a goal kicked by Matthews, and the Crows have their first. And it's taken, can you believe, 12 and a half minutes of the first term. Glenelg 4-1-25, Adelaide 1-1-7. This is the digital pass coverage of the preliminary final. It's the SANFL Super League here at a super stadium, the Adelaide Oval.
Yeah, they looked a little bit better then. They did get one runner, as Grant said, but in general, I just don't think the Crows are just working hard enough. But Glenelg is exceptional at the moment. They've really settled beautifully.
Lovely kick from Matthews. Saw his pace last week, as the boys said, but she's got a nice little kick on him, that left footer.
Yeah, well, it's a 50-metre kick, and I'm surprised they didn't have one of the ruckmen on the line there, the Tigers. It looked like it fell a little bit short, but no one got their hand to it.
So, a 3-goal game. Glenelg lead. And that was a poor bounce by the umpire, Hunter. Well, didn't really know whether to take it or knock it. And then he fumbled it, and the umpire said, I'll throw it back.
He's been a big inclusion for them, Michael, the last couple of weeks. Hunter, they think their first final, they didn't really have a recognised ruckman, but Hunter back in the side, also Strawn as well, serves them well. Good player, Strawn. Hunter gets his fingertips on this White. I've been impressed with the way he's gone about his football with the Bays this year, Jesse White. Ball in congested spaces, and the umpire says, give it to me, we'll ball it up. We've gone 14 minutes in the first term in the preliminary final, Glenelg and Adelaide. 4-1-25 the Bays, Adelaide 1-1-7.
Glorious conditions for Sunday afternoon football. Ball in the air. Motlop lays the tackle. Picked up well there by Wilson for the Crows. In towards the leap down there by Himmelberg. Couldn't take the grab. Who's going to pick up the loose ball? There's a scramble at half forward for the Crows, and it'll be a bounce. We've got Reynolds with 2 goals, Motlop with 1, and McBean with 1 for Glenelg and Adelaide. Matthews is the goal scorer. What a start, though. We love goals, love plenty of goals. That's a good thing. Himmelberg tried to tap the ball away. Kick clearly back towards centre wing. Push umpire, no, he's going to say my ball. Letting play go on then. Going through hard for Glenelg then was Josh Scott. He's okay, gets to his feet.
Glenelg will push the spare back behind.
Now we wait for the ball to be tapped away. Good knock on there by Strawn. Didn't go far enough. Picked up there by Gould. Into half forward. Good grab. Good grab. Number 7 again, Reynolds. And I'll give some credit there for the ball to be driven down there by Snook. Reynolds wanted to play on and is told by the umpire to get back over the mark. Fogarty was lucky there.
Yeah.
Now let's see what Reynolds can do.
Scott's on his bike.
His kick in towards full forwards. Off the hands of the pack. Partington's down there. It's only 10 metres out from the goal face that he's trying to attack. Ball knocked away. Butts is in there for the Crows. Can't clear it away. Umpire's going to do what? They're all looking at him and saying, give a free kick, and he won't.
They're really mixing that up, Glenelg. They've had 4 or 5 different players coming out of the square now. It's they're doing a good job there. It's good coaching.
Strawn did nicely. Got it out to Boyle, who feeds it to Wilson for the Crows. So he goes long. Up goes Hunter. Got his hands on it. Was really held, according to himself. The umpire's having none of it, and the ball goes out of play. It'll be a boundary throw-in, almost on the wing on the outer side, right in front of the Foss-Williams stand. Boundary umpire. Perfect conditions for umpires today as well. Up it goes. White with a little backhander. No one can really grab the footy. Motlop does. Just a chaos kick high. Up they fly. A little bit too early. Here's an opportunity for Bailey. Bailey's got to turn it round the body. And he's just left it a little skinny behind. And the Bays 4-2-26 at the 16.5-minute mark. Adelaide 1-1-7 in the prelim final in the SANFL Statewide Super League.
They keep pressing the Tigers at the moment, and Partington involved again. Nearly had a goal assist.
Yeah, and there's Nicholson, another from the interchange who we didn't see last week, and he's out there doing some heavy work. Whilst he's doing some heavy work, the ball's cleared away to Himmelberg, who marks it half back and will just settle proceedings down. Good delivery there from Tyson Stengel, who was on the move.
You'd like all of those forwards, Peter, a bit closer to goal, though.
True. Kick to half forward. Oh, it fell through the arms of Hunter, who couldn't quite take it. Hand pass over the top. Bradley will take it off Nicholson. He very cleverly knocked it to McBean. Yeah, McBean knocked it further afield to Gregson. They're all Glenelg players. Oh, Gregson. That was accidental. He almost took Wright's head off, but Wright's okay. And so too are the Crows as they relieve as Fogarty got his hands to a mark.
Let's see how they run now.
Didn't budge. Here's Merritt. Kick on the bounce to Paholke. He's got to wait for it to sit. Paholke for the Crows. A little kick looking for Wilson. Wilson's about to get hauled in by Agnew. Good, well done by Agnew. Now another high tackle on Boyle. Just a couple of high ones just in the last minute or so by Glenelg on Adelaide. So Boyle, another left footer in this side. Here he goes. He's going to punch it inside 50. It's a high ball. Who can get a good run at it? No one really. Ball hits the deck. Davis comes in with a good tackle. The umpire will call for a ball up. It's about 25 to 30 metres out from the Crows' goal. They're inside 50. They're attacking to the main scoreboard end.
Yeah, and we saw last week the Crows owned the corridor. They tried to get it again there and with Paddy Wilson, but Glenelg just had the numbers to close him down.
Himmelberg attempts to knock it away. Then he does well, and he gets the ball to his teammate there. The snap at goal from Gallucci. It'll be cut off in defence Tigers will clear to Close, who stands his ground and takes a very courageous mark. The Elephants were coming, but he was able to do that. Flicks the ball to Joseph. Joseph goes over the top to Nicholson. Nicholson's kick for Glenelg is good to centre wing, and it's marked by someone who's creating some havoc. That's Luke Reynolds. The cool hand Luke goes short pass back to Close, and he marks for Glenelg, and he'll kick to a congested forward line. He's at centre wing. 4-2-26 Glenelg. Adelaide 1-1-7. He kicks the ball poorly. McHenry does well. Drills it back into the middle. Very good work indeed, marked by Matthews. Matthews, who kicked the previous goal, goes short, and they look dangerous now. The ball delivered by Scholl in towards half forward to Himmelberg. Himmelberg's kick into that forward pocket's all right. Marked down there by McAdam, but perhaps a bit too far out to score.
Well, my memory, Peter, tells me he might have kicked one here last week.
Well, you did say that.
Yeah, I'm sure we questioned him in this
No, I
spot
did, but you were spot on.
And he kicked it. So let's have a look, because he's got a natural left to right.
This important kick. Crows getting back into this game. He kicks well. It's got the accuracy, but it is pushed across the line. Good, strong defence. Not bad.
It was a funny old kick, though. He sort of
does look for excuses. Just give up.
No. I thought if he actually went back and kicked that properly, he sort of kicked around the corner.
No,
maybe it was a set play, top of the goal square.
20 minutes gone in the term. Glenelg 4-2-26. Adelaide 1-2-8. This is the 2019 SANFL Statewide Super League preliminary final. Here's Michael Maney.
Agnew gets a handball. It's on the wing now. Nicholson, little ball was 50-51 looking for Motlop. He couldn't quite get it. Well done by Wright. And now away to Fogarty, but who got it back to Scholl. Now Scholl just looks for Strawn. Strawn at halfback. Our player spotlight is Luke Reynolds, who is really having a purple patch. So too Galucci's had a couple of possessions. His little kick looking for Davis, who really controlled the footy well. Good step around a couple. Kicks inside 50. Himmelberg can't take the mark. Who's front and square? Stengel is. We know it's Mercurial. He could roll this through for a goal. Oh yeah! Oh yeah! That's a bit of Eddie magic from the pocket. A masterclass from Stengel, and the Crows have now got a couple there. 2-2-14. Glenelg 4-2-26. Stengel's first. What a kick from the boundary. You always thought there was a chance to kick it.
Yeah, no doubt about that. And good work in the air by Himmelberg to bring the ball to ground. And Davis had a bit of a step on that outer side. Michael showed a bit of pace. He's a good inclusion today for the Adelaide team. And what a goal, Bernie, a roller, unbelievable stuff.
Yeah, no, that was all class, absolute class, yeah. And the difference between the two teams when they're going up the ground, Glenelg, they'll come out to this wing, they'll have an extra handball, and they give their forwards a chance to get back into position, where the Crows sometimes are taking, instead of taking the short handball, they're taking the long kick in, and it's not giving their forwards enough chance to get back there and get set.
Gee, White's going to have to work hard for this game. All by himself, he jumps up, knocks it away, but Wilson has it for the Crows. Kicks it wide towards the outer side. Boyle has it. Crows with the last 2 goals and settling big time.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. They have settled.
They have. Here comes a Strawn who ran through. Use of body wasn't too smart, and the use of running footwork was from Motlop. Slams the ball down the ground. He overkicked or overcooked, and Ottens took the mark. Ottens goes dangerously across towards halfback. It'll be all right. Scholl has it. Scholl on the half volley. Jones. Jones is going to get trouble. The kid from Tassie did well. Knocked it across. Here's Wilson. Wilson, one of the better players in this competition, in towards half forward. Didn't quite cover the distance from Davis's point of view. The hand pass goes astray. Picked up by Pierce Seymour. Number 73. Don't you just love it? But he's kicking towards full forward, is cut off, and Gould takes the saving mark for Glenelg, who lead 4-2-26. Adelaide 2-2-14 in a beauty here on Sunday football.
Yeah, I think Gould on McAdam. That Gould's always going to win that.
Yeah, Virgin got it back to Gould, who just ran off. So at half back, the Bay is looking to do something. Gregson just away to White. White's little 15.02. on the meterage. Virgin just kept on running, puts it out in front of McBean. He got a push from Otten. No question about that. Otten couldn't get there. McBean on the wing for the Bays. Now to Costa. Now Costa. Who's he's got? He targets Reynolds. Why not? Why not? Luke Reynolds, who's really outplaying young Butts at the moment, giving him...
Yeah, they're going to have to do something there.
Yeah, he's giving him a bit of a lesson at the moment. The young man hasn't settled, but this guy, he's booted too. And he's got a kick from right on the paint of 50 directly in front.
Yeah, he's a beautiful kick of the footy, Michael. He started his career at Port Adelaide and got drafted by Carlton, spent a couple of years over there, and now back here in SA playing some really good footy. And this one should be right within his distance.
To take it out to a 3-goal lead, Reynolds gets a handy piece of it and just hooks it. 13 points the margin now. Glenelg 4-3-27. Adelaide 2-2-14. We've gone around 24 minutes in the first term.
Now, Wright was calling for the ball to be kicked into play after it went through for a behind, and he's still talking down there in rather anguished tones. He's still by himself there, and he's doing a lot of waving around the skipper. As close for Glenelg. Kicks in towards full forward. The ball bashed away from that exchange and will roll over the white line for a boundary throw in. And going down into defence for Adelaide. Pierce Seymour, number 73. Reynolds stands in the square. He's waiting for the ball to flip out in his direction. He's been very busy. Wilson goes down to render assistance in defence for Adelaide. And we wait for the boundary umpire to do what he does best and throws the ball back into play. Hunter got front position. Flicked out of the pack. Scholl's got it. He's in trouble. He's got a quick hand pass. Hunter's kick wobbles. And the mark is taken by Virgin, who crept down from defence. And he's got it at half forward.
Had a few possessions in the last couple of minutes. Virgin decides to sit it up for the high flyers. Up they go. Who's going to crumb it down? Jones ran past it. Boyle, little handball over the top. Fogarty tackled. Nicholson for the base. Just tracks it in front. Agnew got in his way, really. And then he's tackled and he's going to get a free kick. Carl Nicholson, a little high one.
Yeah, what's happening with Glenelg at the minute? They're their own worst enemy. Scott's trying to get into Reynolds' way. Everyone wants to be the superstar. I mean, he's taking his backman in and getting in front of Reynolds. When you got a forward on fire, keep feeding him and keep it open for him. But you know, it's a team thing. You just can't all just get involved in that forward 30 there.
They've got 3 big targets, haven't they? Here's Nicholson from right on 50, just outside. Got a good piece of it. It's going to float to the pocket. No one can take the mark. Strawn was there off hands into the behind post, and it'll be a ball in about 15 metres out from the Glenelg goal. 4-3-27 the Bays. Adelaide 2-2-14. 26 gone first term.
First 4 goals of this preliminary final kicked by Glenelg. The last 2 by the Crows as we head towards the end of what's been a pretty spirited first term. Boundary throw in. Fogarty one way or the other. Left boot to ball is good. Delivery was so spot on, marked there by Davis. Now Davis. Oh, a short pass. It's almost cut off by Close. They're going to get out of a little bit of trouble there. I thought for a moment they would lose contesting. As Scholl was in there. Hunter's too slow. Free kick. That was Kieran Strawn who got in there. Now it's Gould who does well. Goes across the goal mouth that he's defending. Works it towards Curran. Curran goes towards centre wing. Partington's kick is to Virgin. So they're just creeping forward, looking for some gaps to open up. Virgin, very busy last week and very annoying from what we can gather with the antics of being hard at the ball. McBean's mark was good. McBean's kick wasn't so good. And the mark is taken in defence there for the Adelaide side by Jordan Butts.
Good confidence builder for Butts because he's had a tough time on Reynolds.
Yeah, just dropped back into the hole, Michael. That was a good, strong mark.
Yeah, terrific. Now a free kick is going to Paholke for a bit of holding.
You think that what we saw last week, Jordan Butts, he's got a real big future ahead of him, but he's just sort of struggled maybe with Reynolds' pace today.
Yeah, and early too, so he just needs to stick at it. So Paholke for the Crows at half back on the outer side, kicks to the wing on the outer side. Bunch of players in the middle of that, and Hunter takes the contested mark. Terrific work from him. Nice, strong hands by Hunter as he prances back on the wing on the outer side. Hunter, he'll kick this into a shallow inside 50. Himmelberg tries to get in there. Ball flicks to the back. Well done by Bradley, just mopping it up. Goes in short to Gregson of the Bays. Gregson's got Close with the long sleeves. Good bouncing ball. He could have a bounce here, Close. Runs his full measure and then gets under the kick. Up they fly, and Reynolds has just taken another contested mark in front of Butts. Wow, can do no wrong, Luke Reynolds. Here he goes, pulls the kick, put it on the head of Nicholson. Oh, doing the roving was Bailey. He couldn't quite take it. Crows will get out of trouble here through Otten. There's the siren to end the first quarter.
First quarter fury. 4 first quarter goals to Glenelg before Adelaide realised they'd better get a move on, and they did. And at quarter time, the score has evened up considerably. This is the digital pass coverage of the 2019 SANFL Statewide Super League preliminary final. The winner to play Port Adelaide next Sunday, and the loser to sit and watch that game or to go away somewhere else and not think about it. Glenelg 4-3-27, Adelaide 2-2-14. The margin 13 points for Glenelg. 2 goals to Luke Reynolds, singles to Marlon Motlop and Liam McBean. And McBean, in kicking that goal, has now kicked 50 goals for Glenelg, and Reynolds isn't too far behind. He's on 48. Adelaide's first goal kicked by Jimmy Matthews, and Tyson Stengel got a ripper to make sure that Adelaide were in touch. 4-3-27 to 2-2-14. Some comments from Grant Coffey and Bernie Marnie. And
mowed the lawn yesterday. It was the first time I could get out.
And who mowed your head? What happened to the haircut?
Well, I had to go in for a trim up and get myself right.
Hey, this is good. This is 4 goals to zip, and you think, what's going on? This is a tight one.
It is a tight one, and Hunter back in the middle. That's a good contest up against Jesse White, and Jesse White, great to see him with a defined role this year playing in the ruck. Last year was a bit full forward ruck. I think he's better in the ruck, especially get the value of him around the ground as well.
Just has imposed himself on the competition this year, Jesse White. All in readiness for the second term in the SANFL Statewide Super League preliminary final. Up they go. Paholke, a quick fast break from Adelaide, lowered the eyes just to the bootlaces of Fogarty, who couldn't control it. Nicholson with a handball for Glenelg. Little quick kick out by Gregson's a real roller out toward the wing. Matty Wright's going to be there for the Crows first. Now Scholl, a little quick kick in to Paholke. So Paholke still in the centre square. Just goes in short, that's okay, finds Wilson. Wilson wanted to run around, and Motlop got in the real danger area there, and the umpire didn't ping him. Here goes Wilson with a real long kick, almost a mark. Roving it was Curran. Henry couldn't quite get him. Quick kick out of there by the defence of the Bays is going to be a free kick. Last touch out of bounds, and the Crows are going to go back inside 50. The Crows are asleep at the wheel in the first quarter. Glenelg banging on 4 goals, where they seem as if they've steadied now, and Boyle's going to be the man to take the free for the Crows.
Yeah, I think they've been to the petrol station, and it's not unleaded, it's super to start this term. Boyle's kick towards full forward, off the hands of the pack. Twist in a turn and a very, very slow hand pass. Fogarty kicks out of bounds on the full. Or is it through from behind? It is.
You looked out in the full to me.
Looked to me. We might have an inquiry after this game.
Could be.
It's a behind. 2-3-15. 4-3-27. Margin 2 goals in the second term, only just begun. Aaron Joseph to kick and Michael Marnie to do the talking.
Long ball, and getting a fist on it was Josh Scott, and it's out of play. Half back flank for Glenelg on the outer side of the ground in front of the Foss Williams stand. In that scoreboard, 4-3-27. Glenelg, Adelaide 2-3-15, so 5 scoring shots to 7. So it started to even up, and you just get the feeling the Crows are starting to get their hands on more ball around the ground. Here's White and Hunter. Hunter got the better of that, then followed up. Well done by Jones. Got it back to Paholke of the Crows. He kicks inside 50. Who's going to duck out the back? Good mark, taken by Strawn. He just had to backpedal and put the big tentacles up and take it. A very, very good mark, and he'll kick from about 15 metres out, almost directly in front.
He's a huge boy too, Michael. 204 centimetres, Bernie. He wouldn't like to be standing him, so that's what's at about 6, 7 or 8 in the old, and he's got a great set of hands and normally kicks it all right.
Yeah, I think he's the right option today too, because Hemmelberg just doesn't look right to me today.
Strawn to bring it back to a one straight kick. He's hit the woodwork. Well, you've got to take your chances in big finals, and Strawn missed from about 15 out, laid back on the kick. Glenelg 4-3-27, Adelaide 2-4-16, 2 minutes gone, second term.
We don't want to make comparisons about the AFL, so this is not a comparison, but how many times has the post been hit over the weekend?
Yeah, they thicken them up.
Oh, I tell you what, there's some real sad stories about missing and hitting the post, and that's another one that we've got. And we wait for Bradley at halfback to take the ball, decides to go over the top.
I have another theory, Peter. I'll share it with you one day.
Okay, this could be good. Okay, Joseph being hung on to. Well done by Close. His hand pass wasn't good. Goes in, lays the tackle. Joseph puts his body in. He's got the ball underneath him. He flicks it back out. Gould does well. Heavy work from the 19-year-old. He's still after it. He won't give it away. The umpire says, I've got the whistle, but I'm not going to blow it. Now he is. And there'll be a toss in the air. What's your theory, Grant?
Well, the theory is the goalposts are a lot bigger than they used to be. They're about 5 metres longer up in the air. So, on average, they've got to hit the post more.
Yeah, Grant's had something to drink.
As long as they're hitting it on that top 5 metres.
I'm thinking that you've been drinking green ginger wine or something. How was it, the first bottle? No, that's a good theory.
I think you're right, though. I think you're right, though. Here's Marlon Motlop now on the wing for the Bays. Clean pair of heels, just kicks, looking for McBean, who just kicked it over the top of his head, or done by Hamill of the Crows, or goes back in the corridor, risky kick. It's okay to Paholke. Paholke goes short. And it's marked by Otten. Otten just steps back. Wilson just kept on running into the centre square. That's centre half back pretty much for the Crows. His kick to a 2-on-1, but that's okay. Uncontested mark taken by McHenry. McHenry, a little bouncing ball to Paholke, who's really covering some ground. Reynolds is on the treadmill, and Paholke just runs away from him. He kicks inside 50. McAdam takes the mark. Wow, no pressure much from the Bays. And Adelaide did as they pleased and then got it to this man who's been a real goal kicker this year for the Adelaide Crows. He's booted 20, hasn't scored one here. And he'll line them up from about 15 out on a slight angle.
It was a smart move by Fogarty because he led to the pocket and took Gould out of the play.
McAdam runs around and turns it across his left shoulder. And they are back in business, the Adelaide Crows. McAdam gets his first, Adelaide's third. There's 3-4-22, Glenelg 4-3-27. And this game starts to tighten up after we saw the Bays get away to a lead that was 24 points at the 8-minute mark of the first term.
Yeah, and they got a bit of a mismatch there all of a sudden, Adelaide. They found Michael Virgin, who looked like he was on McAdam for a while, and he was just too strong in the air. And fantastic work there by McAdam. I think that's where he's really good, launching himself at the footy. Great lead-up play. Expect him to play a lot of AFL footy next year.
And Paholke, 10 possessions already now, ripping into the second quarter.
Yeah, and he gets a lot of them forward of centre as well, which is what I like about him. He pushes forward.
Jesse White's going to have to ruck all day. That will be difficult. Partington's hand pass wasn't difficult. Comes out of the pack neatly to Agnew. Agnew, who got the ball delivered by McCarthy, kicks towards the centre wing position. Charging through was Nicholson, couldn't gather. Picked up by Seymour for the Crows. Into the middle, and there's the tractor. Wilson towards half forward. Good knock away by Joseph, who ran back half to the ball. He'll be happy enough to see it over the boundary line, I reckon, but it doesn't go over the boundary line. McAdam does very well. Knocks it forward. McHenry did well, chipped the ball forward. Marked by guess who? Paholke. Is he going to bang it long? No. He's going to kick to Davis, who's caught holding the ball, maybe. No whistle. Umpire's watching carefully. And the umpire furthest away from where the action was. Now, that's a strange one because he's run a fair distance and picked the free kick out, and the free kick has gone to Ed McHenry.
I thought it was high initially.
I can't pick out that free kick. I thought the umpire who was closest had it right. Just let it go, let it go. It was one of those 50-50 ones.
McHenry, who was so good so early last week, starting to find the form. His kick towards full forward is touched off a few knuckles, and it's gone through for a behind. But in this quarter, Adelaide have kicked 1-3 to move to 3-5-23. Glenelg haven't scored their 4-3-27. It's been a busy quarter, particularly by Adelaide, and we've gone just 7 minutes.
Strange kick by McHenry, who
stabbed
probably could
at
have
it.
kicked the goal, just stabbed at it and maybe was trying to set it up, not really quite sure.
He was
Bays
indecisive.
trying to go forward. There's a free kick for throwing the footy, and it's coming back to Andy Otten. And McHenry tries to go on with it, but the umpire's saying you need to give it back to Andy, who retired from AFL footy from the Crows, another departure of a player from that football club. Here's Merritt. Now Merritt, normally a backline player, he's going to punch a real wobbly old ball and easily picked off by Curran for the Bays.
Real strange change to this game. Glenelg on the back foot. As McBean's up there at half-back, couldn't take the mark. The run there and the hand pass goes to Costa. Costa's gone one bounce. Costa's gone two. Costa's gone three. He's gone four. Davis says, I'm going to catch you. He didn't. He kicked so well. Drilled the ball down to half-forward, and it's well marked further afield there by Joshua Scott.
You called it well, Peter. 4 bounces, but I think he only ran 20 metres. he had 1 bounce. Sometimes players like to do that because they feel like they get a bit of balance when they bounce the footy. And looks like there's bad signs here, Michael.
Yes.
You've seen someone come off Liam McBean. It is. Hopefully the hammy's okay.
I think it's not the hammy. It's something else.
Well,
The other leg, I think.
here's the shot from Joshua Scott. 48 out. Drop punt kick on its way.
Oh,
It's
he
a good,
nailed
strong
that.
kick. How about that? You beauty is a call from the Glenelg crowd. He's given that a hoof and a half. Glenelg 5-3-33. Adelaide 3-5-23. We are at the 9-minute mark of the term, and if there's any movement at all down below and we can pick up what has happened to Liam McBean, we won't keep it a secret, but let's check the time at the 9-minute mark of the term to see McBean leave the ground with a question mark about a dicky hamstring beforehand. That could be danger.
Yeah, no doubt about that. And good mark. There was a wobbly old kick by Costa that went in. He was playing in front and finished off with a nice goal against the flow of traffic a bit, Bernie, because it was all Adelaide, but a good counter punch there by Glenelg.
Oh yeah, you get 2 for 1 for that. And Scott's been busting to get into the game. He's led up, and like I said earlier, he got in the way in the way of Reynolds and what. But that was a beautiful. He just nailed that 50 out.
Last goal was the 8-minute mark for Glenelg with the first quarter. They get their next goal at the 9-minute of the second. Here's Partington. It's had a slow start to the second term. He kicked inside 50. Up they fly. Ball flicks over the back. Might have been a holding free kick on Scott. He goes in again. It's taken to ground. And the umpire says, give it to me. It flicked over the back.
Michael, Snook is at full forward for
Snook.
Glenelg with McBean being off.
Interesting stuff. You want to move around a bit. I don't think he's going to take too many hangers. Up goes Hunter. Tries to palm it down. Scott. Hunter's kick just touched off the boot. Gregson. Snook got that. Now to Gallucci. Gallucci's left foot kick. And White. Oh, got a terrible bounce. It just reversed back over his shoulder on the way in the outer side, but he's got a bit of toe, has Jesse, and his kick was just overcooked, and Seymour takes the mark and just over the top of Bailey's head, and he takes it at half back for the Crows.
What do you think, fellas? Early days, second quarter. Tough match to be able to work out who's going to do what. Talk to me in a moment, because we're going to see Fogarty get up and take a grab at half forward.
Adelaide are playing good footy, Peter, and they'd love a goal here, though.
Short pass is on into the forward pocket. Punched out of the pack. Himmelberg went one way, went the other, tried to break the pack, couldn't do so. Virgin does well for Glenelg towards close, beats him. He'll go back and he'll give some assistance to his teammate. He'll need to. He's got it now. He's pile driven into the turf here at the Adelaide Oval. Whistle says, umpire my ball, there'll be a bounce. And just a little bit going on afterwards. Tight game. 12 minutes almost. Strawn tries to win the tap away. Out of the pack. Kicked in the air by Gregson. Knocked forward. Partington couldn't take it. Didn't need to. Had some support from Virgin. Back to centre wing. Clears the pack. Hunter, no. Otten, yes. Otten, run. Yes. Otten's kick. Beautiful. Marked by Fogarty, too far out.
Dunno.
I was waiting for someone. So I turned your microphones down. He's gone the short pass. He's never going to make the distance. Joseph waits for it. Free kick over the shoulder. Tigers in defence will get the kick. There's a bit of pressure out there. You believe you me. 5-3-33 Glenelg, 3-5-23 Adelaide. In this term, 12 and a half minutes gone.
Well, she just saw a shot of McBean. It's a right ankle being restrapped, not a hammy. So that might be okay. Here's Virgin. He's got to get around a couple, then did it okay. Short little kick. Agnew takes the mark, then gets it back from Bradley. Now Partington. Partington inside 50. Yeah, 1 on 2, and Scott was the one over the back right. Mopped it up nicely for the Crows to Merritt, whose handball's a dodgy one, but it goes okay to Wilson. Now back to Scholl. Scholl does a big 360 and a real wonderful donut away to Wilson by hand. Wilson for the Crows, bouncing ball. Gould's got to provide a shepherd and did it nicely. And Maxi Proud comes out, and then his kick is turned over. Oh dear, Hamill should have taken that. Motlop gets a handball away to Partington. Partington lowers the eyes. Reynolds can't take the mark. face plant from Reynolds, and away go the Crows.
Short pass or hand pass, whatever you like you call it. Crows will brilliantly break away from halfback Jimmy Matthews. Go Jimmy's the call. He ran away from Costa. He bangs the ball down towards full forward. It rolls and is packed through for behind. Excuse me, Virgin. Take 3 votes for that effort. That looked to be a goal that would bounce through. It didn't. Behind Adelaide now with that behind her. 3-6-24. Glenelg 5-3-33. And here come Glenelg up forward.
White goes away with a handball to Agnew. Agnew inside 50. Reynolds takes the mark and skips back and says, I think I'll have a crack at him here from about 45. I've got the journey well under my belt.
Yeah, end-to-end footy, Michael. Exciting stuff. Matthews at one end had a long ping on goal. Fantastic work there by the Tigers to save it. And on the rebound, once again, Luke Reynolds, that lead-up option, just so dangerous. Already kicked 2.
Michael Virgin take a bow. If this is a goal, that will go to him. Here's Reynolds from about right on 50. Didn't get a really good kick. Didn't look good off the boot, but it's a goal. He's got 3. The spearhead has got 49 for the year. And Glenelg steady, just that little bit again. They've moved along now to 6-3-39. Adelaide 3-6-24. We've gone 14.5 in the prelim final. Bernie Marnie.
Yeah, they're getting the answerable goals. I mean, because Matthews, he just streamed through the ground and got the Crows into their forward 50, but immediately the Crows rebound and get it straight back. And when they get it back, they score. So they're in control of the game. I mean, the scoreboard's not telling how much the Glenelg are in control when the big moments are on. They're winning the big moments of the game.
Well, I'll tell you who's going to have to be good all day. Jesse White. He's going to have to ruck all day, and he's got some heavy moving machinery that'll be going at him, 3 of them. And for him to be able to stay sound and solid, he's got it all to look forward to. Strawn wins the tap out of the middle, does beautifully. Pahoki runs clear, kicks long towards full forward. Hunter's there. Himmelbook also, not quite. Oh, they mess around. And the kick by Davis is a goal. He found some form. He's back in the side. It bounced to him and he looked at it. He waited for the Elephants to move in his direction. They didn't. And he snapped a very important goal. Right back at your faces is the response to the Glenelg team, who stay at 6-3-39. Adelaide 4-6-30, almost 17-16 gone second term.
Yeah, good clearance there once again by the Adelaide side. Paholke just got on the end of it, kicked it long to the hot spot there. Himmelberg couldn't take the mark, but just brought the ball down to ground. And Davis, an important inclusion for them today. He played the one AFL game through the year, gets his opportunity again today, and they needed that one. The Crows are steadier.
That was in your whole patch, Ballarat, I think, wasn't it? Davis went and played his first
That's where you go to really find out what you're
Melbourne.
all about in life. Go to Ballarat. You'll never come back from Ballarat. You'll probably be snowed under.
McBean's back on the ground for the Bays. That's good news. Bouncing ball. White, little backhander taken by Fogarty. Fogarty just drills it long and high. Up they fly. Himmelberg knocked it down. It was a smart knockdown because Stengel was right there at ground level. Handball back to Himmelberg, who's been a bit fumbly today. He gets it on the boot. It won't come back for a goal. It fades away. Bounces, or did it hit the goal?
I think it's hit the post.
The top of it, Peter.
Hit the
The point posts are 3 metres high, the goal post 5.
Well, that would have been a goal if that point post hadn't have been so tall.
I think Grant Coffey's got too much time on his hands.
Yeah, I didn't realise you could Google goalposts, but obviously you can.
It's only logic.
Yeah, you Google Lee Matthews and ask him how big the behind post was when he knocked it over at Windy Hill 100 years ago. Umpire saying holding the ball.
When it snapped in half, it hit the goal at boundary umpire on the foot as well. It snapped off and hit him on the foot.
And Lee said, I must have been an old post.
I know. You know what will happen, and I know we're digressing, so I shouldn't really, but there'll come a time when if it hits the goal post or whatever and goes through, it'll be a goal. They won't have behinds and things like that. No, they won't do that. I'll just move on now. As Gould has gone. Oh, dear, oh, dear.
Oh,
now the ball didn't
go.
carry, and there's going to be a holding the ball call now.
No doubt.
Umpire's not got the courage.
No.
With the short pass, and it must have just picked up some grass seeds on the way through. Must have just done it, so...
Adelaide can hold the ball in here, create another opportunity, Peter.
Yes, and it's like the OK Corral. Cowboys and Indians are all around in circles. Good work, Bradley.
Oh, that's a throw.
Bradley, what's the umpire saying? Nothing.
Oh, well done.
There's just bodies going all over the shop. Hunter's in there, couldn't get it away. Wilson's there, picked up by Virgin, who's caught. There's no way Nadi could get rid of the ball. Umpire's going to ping him. He's going to ping him. He's going to ping Michael Virgin. Oh, well, we're a mile away.
Square up?
But we're not 5 miles away.
It might be the square up, but what I've liked today, though, is Darcy Fogarty's intensity. He's having a real go today, and he's been one of the Crows' better players.
Yes, he has.
Oh, no prior.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Well, as we said, we're another postcode away, but free kick, and it's Fogarty who's got it now. And this to bring the margin back to 3 points. Fogarty at 40. Drop punt kick on its way is a goal. Crows get as close as they've been from about 2 minutes into the first quarter. 3 goals in this term. Fogarty gets his first, and Adelaide are now with that goal 5-6-36. Glenelg 6-3-39. Almost 20 minutes gone. 2019 SANFL statewide Super League preliminary final. Wrap your tongues around that little episode, fellas, and tell me about it.
I think Glenelg have got to find someone to give Jesse White a little bit of a spell in there. I don't know whether they have to put McBean in there for 2 or 3 minutes, or the Glenelg midfielders get on the hand of the Crows ruckman, because he's getting a bit tired, Jesse. He's been going for about 3 days now, and he's got 3 days to go.
I'd be putting Josh Scott in there.
He got a leap. Yes, someone just to give him a 5 or 6 minute break.
3 points the margin now. Ruckman nullify each other. Away goes Wilson. Might have been held. All done by Snook. Just got the kick away. Bouncing ball. Miles Paholke is our player spotlight. He's had a real purple patch in this match. So Miles Paholke, our player spotlight. Ball's on the wing on the broadcast side. Caught underneath, and the umpire just folds the arms and says, "Give it to me." And they race in, don't they, these umpires? They sprint in. They sometimes find it tough to pull up just before the stoppage.
Well, they don't give the midfielders a chance to breathe, to reset.
They don't. Strawn missed it. They all missed it. In goes Gregson. Handball comes out. Strawn back again. Got a high ball. They've all got a camp underneath it. Who's going to go for this one? Big punch comes from Maxi Proud. And he just killed that to the boundary line. It'll be a ball in. Scoreline 6-3-39 Glenelg. Lead Adelaide 5-6-36. We've gone 21 minutes in the preliminary final. The loser, and as they say in the old terms, Grant Coffey, mothballs.
Yeah, it is going to be. And 2 really good sides here today, so it's anyone's game. Crows have got the momentum at the moment.
First 4 goals of the game to Glenelg. And since then, they've kicked 2. And Adelaide have kicked 5, and the Crows are into attack. Fogarty!
Here he is again.
Took the grab, but he's too far out from there.
No, he can kick this. This is a great matchup too, Peter, because you've got Darcy Fogarty, who was the star junior from Glenelg, up against Will Gould, who's the current star junior at the Tigers.
Yeah, Gould's a top 25 draft pick. He's a sensational player.
He'll get the journey.
Here comes Fogarty.
He will get the journey.
Everybody says he'll get the journey. We'll wait and see. He's kicking from 51. He's kicked it long. He's dragged it across his body towards the behind line. Play on. McAdam threw his boot at the ball. Stengel's in there for the Crows. Davis is in there for the Crows. There's a lot of pushing and shoving and nothing more. And I'm reckoning with the ball to be thrown in the air, you're going to see a Glenelg defender just bash the ball through for a behind, maybe?
I'm not sure you can do that anymore. I think that's...
I think it's if you're away from the goal square itself. And it depends on the size of the goal post.
That's how tall it is. So the ball just flicked out by the Bays, and it rolls out of play, and it'll be last touch rule, and it'll go to Scholl. So Scholl is about 70 from goal on the outer side in front of the Mark Ricciuto stand. Here he goes. Kicks it, looking for Strawn. He can't take the mark. There's Fogarty. Tries to barrel through a couple. Little handball came out. I think it might have been Boyle. Good tackle by Strawn. And that ball going nowhere.
That's what's been the difference with the Crows. That's where they've got back into the game. Their pressure on the ball carrier and their tackling has gone up, and it's not allowing Glenelg to get that free handball game going.
A lot of players around this. Glenelg defending grimly. Partington's ridden into the ground. There'll be another stoppage. So we've ticked into the 23-minute mark now of the second term 6-3-39, 5-6-36, the Bays lead.
Paint the picture. Everybody is in one half of the ground. In defence, neatly grabbed there by Nicholson. He's one of the interchange players. Back towards half-back. Butts was cleaned up fairly. Push and a shove out there. Not too much happening. Bit of work out there from my favourite player, Pierce Seymour. And if you ask why, well, he's wearing number 73, and there's nobody that I've seen at this level.
No, he's
wearing
the
73.
Yeah, best 73 I've ever seen. I'd love to see him kick a goal because I don't think we've had a 73 kick a goal.
We need that in the book forever. Here's Davis. Davis kicks in towards full forward. Himmelberg's there over the back. Almost a chance now. Davis goes the hand pass. Here comes the hand pass again. Fogarty had it, but Fogarty didn't need to hang on for too long, and it's the guy that's got one of the worst moustaches you'd ever see. That's Gallucci, who kicks the goal, and Adelaide are in front. Adelaide are in front in the ball game, 6-6-42. Glenelg at 6-3-39, 25 minutes into the term. This is a significant momentum swing by way of the Adelaide Crows.
Yeah, really good stuff there by Davis, just to keep the ball alive inside the forward line. Turned inside out, gave the ball over to Fogarty, and Fogarty knew he was going to be smothered there, so he gave it off there to Gallucci, who finished with the goal. And I'm not sure he didn't give the Mustaka a bit of a twirl after he kicked that one, Peter.
That's right.
It's not a bad one, is it? Not a bad one. It's a ripper.
Himmelberg was involved too. He's,
Yeah.
I've been picking on him, well, not picking on him, but he just hasn't been up to his normal standards. But he's starting to work into the game a little bit.
Hasn't been able to take his marks, Bernie.
No,
Put his
that's
hands
right.
on a lot.
Yeah, he's trying, but it's just not cutting it for him today.
4-2 to 2 straight. So out of the centre goes Jones. Quick little kick. Ball just knocked away. Hunter, caught by Snook.
Good boy.
And just held him up. He was like David and Goliath, wasn't he? He was just trying to brute force himself through, and he stuck to him.
There's only about 70 kilos difference in 4 feet. Nothing in it.
Somehow just got him to ground. Bailey, tackled by McHenry. Partington, little handball, just a 50-50 job. Partington had to go back and get it. Oh, wonderful handball to Bailey. Now to Costa. Costa goes looking for Scott. He's not going to quite get there. The ball off hands. It'll be a ball in. What about effort in the end by Scott, really?
That's right. He had a good effort by Partington too.
White's at
Wheel
full
out of the
forward,
pack,
Michael.
handball at 10 metres, and then go and get it again.
I was just looking at where McBean is, and then I looked down the ground and thought, well, where's White? Well, he's having a spell, but he's at full forward.
Yeah, well, at least you do get a spell.
So Scott's going to do the ruck work, as we predicted, Bernie.
Yeah, that's right.
Then he's got a push in the back too, nothing doing. Now taken by Wilson to the Crows, bouncing ball. Gould just overran him, and coming back is Strawn. Proud's also there. McBean, this will be a test for the hammy. Quick little handball away to Bradley. Bradley's handball is okay, and now Maxi Proud will relieve.
Proud looks for Close, can't find him. Tapped away well by Wilson, who stands over the body of Close and glares at him and sends shivers through his spine. He wanders back to half forward. He's signed for another season with the Crows. Wilson, who was such a prolific ball getter throughout the year, finished second in the in the Magarey. He's been a real good player for the Crows as the ball is over the boundary line in front of where we are, and there'll be a throw in.
Should have had more opportunities too. He's had 2 games, 1 game and then out, 1 game and out. You've got to give a young guy, a month of games to get acclimatised to the up tempo.
Boundary throw in. Kick, I should say there, because Virgin in towards half forward. He's Close off the back of the pack. In towards half forward. Now Motlop waits for it. He charges after the ball. Running back there is Bailey. McBean falls down. Got a hand pass, not good. Hand pass goes over the pack. Here's a chance there for Lockie Ryan. Ryan down the ground. Good work. In attack now, the short pass will come deep in towards full forward. Over the head of McAdam, and it runs over the boundary line for a throw-in. Now, I'm watching that umpire running down. There was a last touch call. So it's a free kick to Glenelg at the 27.5-minute mark. And Adelaide have stolen the lead. 6-6-42, Glenelg 6-3-39.
The Joseph kick is okay to Reynolds, who has been starved of opportunity a little bit because the Crows have really taken control of this game. They lead by 3 points. Reynolds at half-back, kicks out wide to the wing. Ball just thumped away. Otten's there, so too the speedy Costa. Otten fell, and Costa maintained his footing, but it'll be a ball in on the outer side, just near the wing, in front of the Foss-Williams stand. In between the Max Bashir and the Foss-Williams stand on the outer side. Gee, the Bays would love to snatch a goal to get that lead back again before half-time. McBean in the ruck this time, and maybe he's given away a free kick on Hunter. He has. So Hunter gets the free kick. Have the Crows got another one in them. He kicks it long. Strawn's there, couldn't take it. McAdam, well done by Joseph, who clears the decks. But Walshy, it's coming back.
It'll come straight back. Easy mark is taken. Thumping kick is given by Hamill. Down the ground. He laid the boots into it, and if you're playing from behind down there, Glenelg, you've got diddly squat chance of getting anywhere near the contest. And the ball did fall short, and because it fell short, McAdam was there to take the grab directly in front. And he is another of these Adelaide Crows players who's found the B on the computer screen, and that's busy. He'll shoot for goal. He's only 30 out, maybe 25 out. McAdam kicks a goal. McAdam has kicked his second goal, both in this term. And Adelaide, what a quarter. They've kicked 5-4 to Glenelg, 2 straight goals, and they lead in the cutthroat preliminary final. And they're playing at the moment the much better brand of football, 7-6-48. Glenelg 6-3-39, almost 30 minutes gone in the term.
Yeah, and what they're not afraid to do, Peter, is go long to the goal square. We saw a big Hunter there from the outer side of the ground. He had the first inside 50 entry, kicked to the top of the square, and then they had numbers set up across that centre position and then pushed the ball wide in again, and the ball fell short, and McAdam kicked his second goal. Such a dangerous player, McAdam.
Been a 22-point turnaround. Bays led by 13 at quarter time. They trail by 9. Hunter can't get it through. So back in the centre. Paholke for the Crows. Just tracked it nicely. The ball just flicked out toward Nicholson. Nicholson's handball's an underground one to Snook. In comes Agnew. And I think there's a free kick to Snook. So Snook has got it for over the shoulder. He kicks long. Inside 50. They need a mark.
Right.
And Scott's there. McBean with a little chop out there on Butts. Just kept his man out. And Josh Scott takes the mark, 35 metres out directly in front. What an important kick this is, Grant Coffey.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Right on the siren, Michael, and this is a big kick on goal here. They get right back and touch. They'll feel that, but if he misses it, it just gives that Crows that bit of an edge going into the half-time break. But he's such a dangerous player. Scott got a great set of hands.
Booted 1. This to bring it back to a 3-point margin at half-time. Josh Scott, from probably about 40, lays back on the kick and sprays it out to the right. Bad miss from Josh Scott, but it is half-time in the preliminary final, and the Crows lead it by 8 points. They've booted 7 goals, 6-48 to Glenelg, 6-4-40.
For the Adelaide team, 7 individual goal scorers. McAdam has 2 singles to Matthews, Stengel, Davis, Fogarty and Gallucci. For Glenelg, we got 3 to Reynolds and singles to Motlop and McBean. I'll just check all those in a sec, but I'll tell you that Adelaide 7-6-48 lead Glenelg 6-4-40. Some quick thoughts from our 2 experts, Grant Coffey and Bernie Marnie, and then what we'll do is we'll have a look at some of the highlights of last weekend's round of matches to kick off the final series in the 2019 SANFL Statewide Super League. This is the preliminary final, and Adelaide 7-6-48 to Glenelg 6-4-40. The margin is 8 points. Some thoughts from Grant Coffey and Bernie Marnie before we check on what we thought was pretty good stuff last weekend.
Yeah, it was an interesting quarter of footy. I think if you look at it, Adelaide have pretty much controlled the game from halfway through that first quarter. They kicked 5 goals to 2 in that quarter.
Exactly what? But who's going to do what? Who's going to change? Well, Glenelg will do something a little different. What have you spotted?
Yeah, I spotted Andy Otten has gone down, and he's going to be on Luke Reynolds, so that's a bit of a swap. And Jordan Butts, he looks undersized going up against Liam McBean, so hopefully that doesn't come back to bite them there.
Most players do.
Yeah, well, he's about half a foot and about 30 kilos lighter.
Yeah, but it all depends what you're going to win one, and it's like Peter and Paul, isn't it? Because Reynolds will be probably too quick for Otten, And the other way, it's the Goliath with a small guy.
Yeah.
But,
2019 SANFL
which one do you go
Statewide Super
for?
League Preliminary Final. We are ready to rock and roll in the second half, and we are away as of now. White wins the tap. Tries to follow it on. Wilson gets across his body. Snook. Got a hand pass back to Partington. Partington winds up with a hand pass to White. They're Glenelg players. White throws it on the boot in towards half forward. Well, Reynolds in the middle of the mark, but that's a good mark to butts in defence. I'll tell you what. Kicks it shocker. Reynolds almost can take a hand pass. He could fire for goal. He's not going to. He's firing to McBean. And McBean just lumbers out and takes the grab within range. About 35 out on a 45-degree angle.
What a bad turnover there by Adelaide, Peter. Fantastic mark by Baholke. He had the pat coming down on him, stood his ground, and the Tigers have turned it over, and Reynolds in the play again. And the kick was an absolute ripper, just to the out in space of Liam McBean, who has kicked 1 goal in the first quarter today.
Yeah, and Otten went back to the square, but he left Reynolds there.
Liam McBean. He's on his way. So is the ball. The goal umpire has some work to do. He has to wave 2 flags. McBean's got a couple. He starts the third term in the ideal fashion for Glenelg. They're 7-4-46. Adelaide is 7-6-48. Jesse White in the middle doing some heavy stuff.
Yeah, in the mix once again. We said what an important player he's going to be. Got his hands on the footy, and the Tigers down there, they look dangerous. They've got some options down there on the forward line. And Michael, you've got the goal there.
We've got the bone timber. They are the industry that supplies what is needed by the person who kicks that first goal in each quarter. They are one of the heavy sponsors for Glenelg. Well done to Bone Timber, and well done to Liam McBean for getting the first goal in the third term.
Back to 2 points now. Up they go. White did it well. Caught without the footy. Wilson came in, another possession to him. Ball falls to Hunter. Just got a toe poke on it. Didn't go 15. Scharenberg hasn't had a great day. Neither Bailey. They need a little bit more out of both those players. So Bailey on the wing for the Bays. Darcy Bailey. Oh, that's a terrible kick. Paholke just read it beautifully, fed it off to Himmelberg. This could cost the Bays. Himmelberg out in front of McAdam. He's got Joseph wearing him like a glove, and Joseph did pretty well to get that ball to the line. But the kick, when you go back inside in the corridor, it's got to be right.
Kicking it to a flat-footed ruckman too. It just wasn't over clever, was it?
Never kick to a ruckman?
Oh, no, I don't mean that. He was standing flat-footed in the middle of the ground. He didn't even expect the ball to come to him.
Just trying to clarify that, Bernie.
Oh, no. Well, you'd never not down the line. You don't go picking on the big fellas.
Here's White. Gregson couldn't take the mark. In goes Motlop, tried to get it back to Gregson. Reynolds has just been so clean today. His kick out in front. They've got to try and run onto it, but I think the Crows are going to clear it up here, Pete.
They will. Right, does well. His kick, was it all right? I think so. Umpire says it's okay. Boyle's got it at half-back. We see that. We groan in the press box because we can see the players waiting with fear and trepidation, and when the kick isn't so good, you can feel so bad. Wilson. Now, just having a look. Surveying the scene. He took the mark at half-back. He's still doing the waving.
Gallucci.
He goes for the short pass. Not a bad effort. Gallucci bounced off his fingertips.
Well done, Bays.
Good work, Snook, who did well. Kick towards half-forward will bounce. Hand pass is on. Bailey gets it. Well played. Partington runs. He kicks and misses. They're the sort of runs when you break clear and you look like you're set to kick a goal and you don't. They hurt about a half an hour later on. 7-5-47 to 7-6-48. Play on. The kick was poor into attack. Picked up by Motlop. And his kick is marked by Otten. As I was scratching the behind down, things were happening, and Butt takes the mark now in defence for the Crows.
Wow. There's a couple of little errors. Here's Butts. Down the line, Curran's in good position here. Oh, that's courageous.
Yeah,
that was Paddy Wilson, wasn't it?
You don't have to do it all the time, but you've got to take your turn, and he did.
Taken by McHenry, who got to McAdam. McAdam, the umpire is going to bring back Virgin 25 metres. That's baffling because McAdam ran off his line, I would have thought.
He did.
But maybe the umpire didn't call play on, and that is the crucial part of all that.
That's the only one we've had today, though, isn't it?
It is. Here's McAdam, who just sits it up and says, one of you big blokes take a mark for the Crows. They can't. Bradley. Oh, so good in traffic, Bradley. Just fed it out nicely to Scharenberg. Scharenberg for the base to halfback. The target was Scott. Overcooked to him. Scholl just got a call from a teammate. Oh, that was a throw. Matthews got it to Merritt. Merritt back to Scholl. Scholl just turned it around the body, hoping, really, ball hits the deck. Agnew was there. In goes Bradley. He's mauled by a couple of Crows. Taken by McHenry. How did he get out of there? McHenry with a nice little sizzling pass. Is brilliant to Boyle. Yeah. And Boyle's got it just outside 50. He's got them running in all directions here. Paholke was the target and he couldn't take the mark. In goes Curran. They're right on the bounce. Oh, the handball back to Joseph missed the target. In they go. Pressure is on in the third term. Stalemate. Ball up. It's about 30 metres from the Crows' goal.
Just a couple of poor skill errors there by the Crows. A couple of times going inside forward 50. They've just missed the lead where they've had a guy out in his own and they've missed the kick. Wilson off the ground as well. He looks like he's injured. Hopefully he's okay. Himmelberg
taps it away. Well played. Charging out of defence. Well played there was that man in Nicholson. Back towards the centre of the ground. All Crows. Twist in a turn. Hamill towards half forward is neat. Neat, tidy work. Kick to be taken there by Scholl. What's he going to do? What's the umpire doing?
Free kick against McHenry.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, this is a long way from where the ball was. Now as a free kick's gone to Glenelg and some meterage.
Yeah.
Now there's more meterage. Umpire says, no, hang on, let's give Motlop the ball and we'll bring him from centre half back to centre half forward. He goes for the short pass. McBean's up, can't take the mark. Wright charges through for the Crows. Don't take your eyes off anything. There's a lot happening. Wright keeps on running. Takes the ball for the Crows. Kicks by way of the left boot towards the half-back line. And I'll tell you what, things are hotting up. The mark out there was taken by Boyle, and Boyle goes to half-back. And the Crows will relieve that score. 7-6-48 the Crows. Glenelg 7-5-47. This is like playing 10-pin bowling. They're going over up a place. They're being skittled left, right and centre.
Himmelberg's got it on the wing and the outer side for the Crows. Kept it low, but misdirected, and Jesse White takes the mark inside defensive 50. So he runs out unopposed. The big man's had a bounce. Woo! He kicks out wide. And Costa, well, he could have taken the mark, but allowed it to bounce and then just let Otten in. Otten carried it out of bounds. It'll be a ball in. Gee, I thought Costa might have attacked that and taken the mark, but decided to let it bounce, and then that just allowed his opponent in.
Both sides are prepared to take risk, aren't they? They want to get into the middle of the ground. They're prepared to switch.
Really surprised, Mike. You'd question the ruckman. Jesse White with confidence running out of defence, has to bounce and kicked it perfectly.
No, I was celebrating.
3 ticks. 3 ticks for the ruckman.
Here's Paholke for the Crows. Little blind turn. Oh, he's got to get rid of it. He does, under pressure. Little handball over the top. Agnew, back-pedalled. Got around. Bradley gave it to him. Now Agnew off a step. It's a 2-on-1. And great mark by Scott. McBean's calling for it. He said, I've got a mismatch here. Josh, you've got to get it to me. He goes to the pocket. He took an eternity. McBean, can he get a run at it? Up he goes. Almost took the mark. Hamill did nicely with a handball over the top. Matthews had to jump and then had to get rid of it. Costa away to Close. Close has got to pick out someone. He's got someone. And a wonderful kick. And it's been marked by Nicholson. And he just lowered the eyes, kept his composure and hit his teammate who's 30 metres out directly in front.
James Matthews made a bit of a blue there. He just coughed up the footy where he should have just taken the tackle, let the umpire bounce the ball down because the turnover, the Tigers had numbers free inside forward 50.
Yeah,
Carlos.
all he had to do was halve it, didn't he?
Nicholson hasn't kicked a goal this year.
Oh, he's
and
missed it.
Still hasn't. Are behind. Scores are level, as they say. 7 goals, 6-48. Glenelg, 7-6-48 Adelaide.
And in this term, a little bit like the first quarter, Glenelg having all of the play but not being able to hurt the opposition on the scoreboard. So they're right in this game, as stating the obvious. Both teams are, as we see a mark taken by McHenry at halfback. McHenry takes his time, goes to right, scores level. Third quarter action. It's a beauty.
Good mark.
Towards centre wing, it's as good as you can get. Gallucci out there takes the grab. Tips the ball forward. Nice running there. That's by Boyle. Boyle for the Crows down the ground. Joseph, the nude nut, got up and whacked the ball over the boundary line, and there'll be a throw in.
Yeah, the kick sort of went in the direction of McAdam. It wasn't the best one. He was on the lead. He had a bit of separation from Joseph, but the kick was sort of on top of his head, allowed Joseph to get to it.
On top of his head, all right. Throw in. White stands his ground. There's to run in. Hunter's going to try and knock the ball away from him. We're all doing some heavy work. Umpire is waiting. Everybody in the stadium yells out their favourite four-letter word, ball.
It was an interesting one there, Peter. It was a short throw. The two guys had nominated for the ruck. It was going to be fall in the arms of Darcy Foggett. He didn't know what to do.
Ruckman go up. Oh, McHenry held without the football, and that's a free kick. Well, the ball never really got into his lap, so he's got it right on 50.
Yeah, they're a better side when they got him on the ball.
Little short kick. Oh, he's
he's
chopped
let me
off
down.
terribly. Well done by McCarthy. McCarthy looks for McBean. It flicks over the back. Who's going to be there? Matty Wright's going to be there. Little half-distance wobble and bouncing ball. That was terrific to McHenry. And then got it back from Boyle. McHenry kept on running. Inside 50. Where's Himmelberg? Oh, there's an unrealistic attempt there by McAdam. I think. Has he paid the free kick?
No, Mark's been paid. Mark's been paid to Hunter.
Oh, and Himmelberg's hurt himself
He's done his ankle,
too.
hasn't he?
I think it might be well, he sort of went for his shoulder, I think, there.
Did he?
I think, Bernie, but Hunter's been paid the mark, and why wasn't it a free kick?
Well, and he was the only one who stayed down, Hunter. The whole pack went.
Hunter from 30.
Oh,
He's got it. It's a helicopter. It
yeah.
wobbled almost off the compass.
Yeah, he's sponsored by Lloyd's Helicopters.
And it's a goal, and the Crows regain the lead. They're 8 goals, 654. Glenelg 7, 648. And maybe McAdam took his own man out, but there was a Glenelg player in there from that. And Hunter gets his first goal, and the Crows reply to the McBean goal, and it's taken them about 11 minutes.
Well, let's put it this way, fellas. We'll state the obvious. 11 minutes of football. I've got on the clock. Glenelg have had 9 minutes of the play, and they've had a behind, and then a behind, and then a goal, and the Crows have gone down there and got a goal. I don't know if it tells you a story, but put it this way, grab hold of your advantages by the scruff of the neck and make every kick so vital, particularly in a cutthroat prelim final. Crows back in front. Jesse White tried to get hold of the ball. Wilson, it was a throw out of the middle. No, it wasn't. Wilson's kick wobbles towards the centre wing. Not marked there by Bradley, who attempts to do the knock on there. Matthews kicks towards half forward. That's a pretty good kick and a pretty good mark taken there by a very, very bold manoeuvre down there, Hunter.
he's a big boy playing in front.
Now Hunter's gone the
Good
short
kick.
pass, and Himmelberg made position. He's running hard. His teammate got whacked going for the ball. It's back towards Costa, who couldn't take the grab. Bounces to Hunter. Costa tries to crash the pack. He's caught. He's dragged. He's almost pulled apart. The little fella sticking back together. He's all right now. And there'll be a toss in the air. It's a goal the difference. 8-6 to 7-6. 12 and a half gone. Third quarter action.
Holding.
Strawn got the tap out, and McCarthy just ran with the footy for a couple of steps and then got pinged by Jones. So Jones inside 50, kept it low, and Fogarty takes the mark. In fact, it's McAdam. McAdam.
Great
Nice
kick.
grab.
Yeah, great kick, Michael, wasn't it? It was like a bit of a worm burner. It didn't get off the ground by much, but it did what it needed to into the arms of McAdam, and that's where he's so dangerous on the lead up. He's got good pace, and he's normally a pretty reliable shot on goal.
McAdam, 2 goals so far in the match.
Gee,
Good job of putting in normally. Yeah, that
Normally
is, yeah.
kicks with superb accuracy, according to one of our experts in Grant Coffee. He's normally just wouldn't miss from there, but that's a shank.
he just relaxed right on the kick.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's be behind the microphone, people, and say, can't believe how some of the kicking is so poor from professional footballers. And let's see now whether Costa can deliver from half back. It bounces to half forward. Clean bowls everyone. Toss towards Close. Close will get back in hard for it.
Oh, he's
off the ground. Kick in danger.
Yeah,
kick in danger. Advantage is paid. The kick towards full forward is marked. Now that's not a bad grab down there.
Partington.
I thought for a minute the umpire wasn't going to call advantage. I always get concerned with advantage because if it's a kick that's poor, you suffer accordingly. This one was just dragged off the boot, and the man who's got $2,000 in his back pocket for being the Digital Pass Player of the Year, he needs to kick this goal. Partington's only 30 out, 45-degree angle. He kicks a goal. He kicks a goal. Glenelg 2 in this term, 8-6-54. The Crows 1 in this term, 8-6-54. 16 gone in the term. And the confusion might have been a little bit about what's going on, but the ball was delivered well. The mark was excellent, and more to the point, so was the kick.
Yeah, and you could just see that unfolding in front of us there. The ball came out into open space. Baholke was going to go off the ground. You could see himself winding up to go off the ground, but McBean did everything right, tried to get over, put his hand on it. The umpire said it was in danger, and then the advantage, as you mentioned, Peter, and Partington took a nice mark. Not a noted goal kicker, but they needed that one. That's a nice steadier for the Tigers.
McBean's been good today.
He has, yeah.
He has done everything that's been asked of him.
Partington, 17 goals for the season. One of 7 Glenelg players who've kicked more into the double figures.
Scores level. White knocks it out. They really attacked that football, and it's not coming out of there, so it'll be another ball up in the centre of the ground.
Crows have got Stengel on ball now, Michael, just to try to get him involved in the game a bit.
Yeah, he's got the Eddie Bet shorts on today too. Up goes White. Tries to knock it down. Baholke's there, and he's manhandled. And another ball up. Big shorts, Tyson Stengel. But he has been a nippy player. But as you said, Grant just needs to get in the game a bit more. He's a good player. Up goes Hunter. Snook tries to get through. And did he cop one high, or is he going to ping him for it? No, we've got another ball up, and Walsh, it may be up to you to get this clearance.
I'm just counting how many wind farms there are out there, because whenever there looks like there's going to be a free kick, everyone throws their arms in different directions. Umpires in control, letting it go, not picking out a free kick unless it's going to be there. Andrew Crosby, Rowan Hundermark and Thomas Bryce in control, and I'm sure they'd be absolutely thrilled at their chance to umpire a preliminary final.
Ottonen is back on McBean.
Ball tossed in the air. White's work was good. Over to Snook, back too wide. His hand pass wasn't bad. Bailey got rid of it quickly. Kick forward towards half forward. Oh, almost a grab. Now Costa. Costa's caught.
Oh,
he's holding the ball. He's thrown to the ground. Pardon me, Danny, but thrown to the ground like a bag of Bungaree spuds. He was just tossed hard into terra firma. No free kick against him, and there'll be a bounce.
Didn't have much prior there. I think it's a pretty good goal by the umpire.
Up it goes. Hunter cradles it down to himself and then just got the kick away, and then Matthews took a nice mark. So Matthews kicked 1 goal so far. Won't get one here because he's on the wing, but that's a lovely kick to Boyle. They look very similar, these two guys. Boyle just hands off to a Scholl, who was running behind him for the Crows. Now he kicks out wide, hoping for a mark, and Davis just went up before acceptances. And little handball comes out here to Joseph, who somehow got it to Bradley by hand. Now Motlop, nice little step around, got it back to Curran. Now Curran's got to try and find a target. Scott's his target. Merritt just gives you a nudge in the back, no free kick. Merritt did okay for the Crows. Little handball away to Scholl. Now it's back to Boyle. Boyle wants to hoist it high. It's going to be a shallow inside 50. Up go, they go. No one can take the mark. Fogarty's there. He's gone out of the game a little bit. Ball just kicked off the ground, taken by Gallucci. Gallucci of the Crows kicks it high. Himmelberg, who hasn't taken a mark today. Well done by Nicholson, who just got away and then knocked through for a behind by Proud.
Well done, Proud.
That was magnificent defending by Big Maxalot, and got it through for a behind. So the Crows, they lead by that behind, 8-7-55. Glenelg, 8-6-54. We've gone 18 and a half in the third term in the prelim final.
No scoring. Oh, kick it to play. Didn't go that well. Marcus, good, strong bowl, Matthews.
It was a shallow kick, Peter. It didn't have any penetration, and Matthews, who's starting to work his way into this game.
Matthews to take the kick into the forward line. Now Wilson creeps across and says, give it to me. Snook stands that man. Matthews floats the ball in towards full forward. Wilson's kick off the hands of everyone. Who's going to gather it down there? Partington does well. Now the umpire's calling a free kick. That's strange, that, because Glenelg had the ball and were running clear.
It's the umpire in the middle of the ground called it, which is even stranger.
Oh, well,
he likes his whistle a bit there, guy.
Goes. Well, the ball in effect comes back towards McCarthy for Glenelg. He's kicked. McBean couldn't take the mark. It bounces. Butts goes the hand pass to Andy Otten. He turns in a circle, hooks it back towards the boundary line, but it's out on the full. And there'll be a free kick as Partington becomes a boundary umpire. Now, that's strange because the boundary umpire where we are, signalled it out on the full.
Correct.
So
I think
the central umpire's overruled.
Oh well, Crows get the free kick and they'll come forward through the boot of Ed McHenry.
McHenry.
free kick.
There may be a Crows free kick here, is it? Or is it a Glenelg free kick?
It's the G train.
It's Chris Curran. He's got the free kick in the middle of all that. Ned McHenry, our player spotlight, been good in the third term. Good promising young Crows player. Otten went up from the kick, taken by Strawn. He somehow got it to McHenry right on cue, and then he just reversed, put the vehicle into reverse, and then got taken over the line by Close. Wow, tough football. They reckon, footballers are not tough these days. I'll tell you what, this game's had it all. Boundary throw in. A point the difference. Adelaide lead. 2-1 to Glenelg in this term. It was 13 points, the margin at quarter time, Glenelg. 8 points at half time to Adelaide. Boundary throw in. Strawn got it down. Motlop's there. McHenry trying to put pressure on him. Little handball out to Partington. Now to Bradley. Bradley's kick was a real tumbler. Oh, lovely punch away, but then a good rove by Gregson. Oh, that's a terrific player. And there's a player out the back door. Then
he's got Mr. McBean.
Reynolds has got Mr. McBean. There he is. He had a couple of options. And McBean on the lead is tough to stop. He's kicked 2. And this for the lead back for the Tigers.
They just moved Merritt back on him too.
It looked like, Michael, they're leaving that pocket open and just letting whichever forward's down in the goal square just to lead into that pocket. And McBean, normally a pretty good shot on goal, but that was really good movement by the Tigers.
Good coaching by Mark Stone, who's been a real revelation this year. Liam McBean, he's booted 2. Glenelg trail by 1. McBean kicked it like a sack of spuds, but he's kicked it straight. He's got 3, and the Bays lead by 5 points. Now they've booted 9 goals, 660 to Adelaide, 8-7-55. We've gone 22 in the third term.
And Luke Reynolds, Bernie, in the play once again. When Reynolds gets the footy, something normally happens because he's such a good kick on goal. Wheels around on that left boot, opens up the play in front of him and delivered it well to McBean.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he's the right man to have the ball in his hands up there. Yeah, he's got multiple skills. A beautiful left foot hit up. Yeah, as soon as he bounces after a mark, he's off on the one step. Yeah, he's a really good player.
2.5 minutes into red ink in the third term. Glenelg by 5 points. They led by 13 at quarter, trailed by 8 at half. It's 3-1 in this third term. White up. Prematurely can't win the tap away. Paholke ran hard at the contest, couldn't knock it away. Oh, White does so well. Put his body in and tried to knock the ball clear. Hand pass goes out. Motlop does the running. Can he get past Paholke? Who's going to win this race? Motlop leads in the race for the ball. He overruns it. He goes back in. He's trying to beat 3 Crows. He does magnificently. Short pass. McBean!
Motlop, wow.
How good was that?
Yeah,
there were 3 ferrets who were down the bunny hole and they couldn't catch the rabbit.
And Corey Gregson stood at the back and actually watched him. So, yeah, that was really good work by Motlop.
Just about the play of the day there, Peter. Fantastic work by the Tigers, and that man again on the end of it, Liam McBean.
He has to kick that goal now to make that the play of the day. McBean for 2 goals in a minute. 24 minutes having ticked by in the third term of the preliminary final. McBean, he's on his way in. Oh, McBean!
Yeah, good goal.
He's kicked 4 smackaroos. Yeah. McBean has 4. And Glenelg have got 10-6-66. Adelaide 8-7-55. 24.5 gone. This is the digital pass coverage of the 2019 SANFL Statewide Super League preliminary final.
Yeah, there's goals and big goals. And the preliminary finals at the 24-minute mark, and you have to kick him, and he did. It was well done.
Yeah, you called it well, Peter. McBean, he's kicked 4, but 3 in this quarter. And they call it the Premiership quarter. Yep. And the Tigers are standing up at the moment. They're just putting their nose in front.
They led by 24 points at the 8-minute mark of the first term. Adelaide's had it on all their terms pretty much since halfway through that term. But now the Tigers have come back. They lead by 11 points. McBean's got 4. Reynolds has 3. Their twin forwards have been outstanding. Back in the centre. Can Adelaide counter-attack? Jones. Agnew held without the football.
Yep.
Tried to get through. They're on a roll here at the moment. They love this end of the ground. That's the River Torrens end. They're really going for it. Here goes Agnew. Kicks it long. Scott!
Oh, good boy.
Takes a wonderful grab.
I'm not
Sticky
so sure
hands.
whether the move of Merritt into the Crows' defence line is the right one. But yeah, absolute beauty by
That's as
Scott.
clean a mark in a pack that you'd ever see.
Yeah.
Telescopic arms.
He can clunk. Yeah, that's right. He can clunk them, can't he?
Missed one just on the halftime siren. Josh Scott for his second. He's booted one.
I've got it written down.
Bernie Marnie is going to the bank with this. From about 47, Josh Scott. The kick. It's coming back. It's a goal. The Bays are out by 17 points, and we tick into the 26-minute mark of the third term. Glenelg, 11 goals, 672. Adelaide, 8-7-55.
And interesting to note, Michael, 2 of the Tigers' best players this year are 2 guys that were off travelling last year. Liam McBean, who was travelling around, and also Brad Agnew, who's a really important player for this side. A real experienced player, hard at the footy, and he's really good around the clearances, involved in that play as well.
He was 4th in line when he took off to go for that mark, and he took it.
Yep.
That's about as good as you get anywhere.
That's right.
He's always been just superb overhead, hasn't he?
Well, it's such a dangerous matchup because he's that 6'3" rangy type who can mark the footy.
Oh,
You can
White,
always
how
tra-
you
you can always
going,
travel in
Mr.
summer,
White?
can't you?
Partington off to Motlop. White's having a birthday at the back of the pack. Snook does the running. Seymour, you got some bother. Snook has it, flicks the ball wide of Costa. Close to the boundary line. Seymour goes back in after it. Hand pass goes to Wilson, who's given a decent hip and shoulder. There's a couple of players down too. Some friendly fire, I think.
Yep.
I was watching the ball over on the boundary line.
Scott is one of them.
He's getting to his feet.
They can blow this game open, the Tigers, Peter, because if they kick this next goal before the siren goes, they'll be hard to beat.
Yeah.
Scott gets to his feet. Boundary throw in. Glenelg really with the momentum. Up goes Jesse White. Couldn't get it away. Gallucci, no. Hand pass comes out of the pack. Partington goes to hand pass. Motlop lines up. Motlop's kick towards full forward. Is there a whistle or what? No, it's gone through for behind. Everyone seemed to be very stagnant down there.
Scott's done for the day, Pete. I reckon he's got broken ribs.
Well, we'll just give you the score and we'll check because Scott's been taken from the ground and looking to be very, very shaky. 11-7 to 8-7. 28 minutes gone in the term, and Scott being helped off the ground by some trainers from Glenelg.
He's sucking them in, but he's starting to jog, and that's a good sign.
Yeah.
He just needs a little bit of time to compose himself. Here's Merritt with a real up and under kick to the wing. Up they fly. Good mark by Strawn. Gee, the Crows need one now. They need it badly. Getting close to three-quarter time. The Strawn kick is okay.
Well done.
And the mark not taken. Well done by Joseph. Knocked it away. Another little kick is okay to Curran. That could be 25 against Patrick Wilson. It is. This had come back, Pat. You can't do that sort of stuff. Crucial. How quickly can the umpire get back and put him on the mark? Curran just looks across at the interchange bench that sees McCarthy in close, standing there ready to go. Curran not looking forward, looking sideways. He's now going to go to half forward. Runs off his line, kept it low, and no mark. Ball just flicks out the back. There's Bailey. Oh, that's a free kick. That is terrible. He's absolutely smashed into him, and the Crows may get out of this, Walshy.
Wilson will go finish up taking the ball. His kick will be marked by Motlop. Between centre wing and half forward, time check, 29 and a half gone. Motlop's going backwards, and there goes the siren. And the wounded bodies and the busted ribs may be, or the aches and pains will be dealt with. And then we'll suck it and see and go for another 30 in this ripper. Three-quarter time in the preliminary final, 2019 SANFL Statewide Super League. And Glenelg, 11-7-73, lead Adelaide 8-7-55 by 18 points for Glenelg. McBean, 4 goals, 3 in that quarter. Reynolds 3, Motlop 1, Scott a couple and Partington 1. For Adelaide, we've got 2 to McAdam and singles to Matthews, Stengel, Davis, Fogarty, Gallucci and Hunter. 11-7-73 to 8-7-55. The margin is 18 points. We'll just see what's going to happen out there medically if we can pick it up from here. But whilst we're doing that, I'll handball over to Grant Coffey and Bernie Marnie. What a thrilling third term that was, but more to follow. Glenelg.
And they have got Partington and co in the middle that are still winning plenty of the ball, and Agnew and so. But what the Crows have to do, they've to be able to stop McBean, you've got to stop the flow out of the middle of the ground. They've got to, Wilson and co have got to start getting a little bit more of the ball in this quarter and get it into their forward line.
Motlop starting in the square, in the goal square, and he's got a few heavy hitters down there helping out his cause.
He's got Hamill on him too, inexperienced young player too, so Marlon Motlop looking to try and...
He might be able to turn him inside out. He can get behind him.
Yep. So it all comes down to this.
The Crows have got 3 of their hard-at-it players in there with Wilson, Fogarty.
Yeah, they've gone the big time, haven't they? Yeah.
And also Paholke in there. So they're ball winners in there.
Yeah, you've got to do it now. You know, you're 3 behind, 25 minutes of footy to play.
You've got to leave it all out here. A pause. We're just waiting. Siren goes. We're underway. The final term in the SANFL Statewide Super League preliminary final. Up it goes. White knocks it down. In goes Fogarty. Might have been held just momentarily. In goes Agnew with a tackle. And that might have been dropping the ball. And a free kick will go to the Bays. The umpire quickly coming in to sort things out. Fogarty wanted to go on with White. Bailey, and Agnew, I should say, goes long. Oh, Reynolds, big fly, can't take the mark. No one can really grab it. In goes McBean. Just rolled over, and I think someone's copped one there, and I think it's Matty Wright. He's hurt himself.
He went in hard there, Michael. He sort of went down low. Looked like he copped on the shoulder. He's okay, though.
They've touched him up a few times today too, Whitey. Righty, I should say.
Crows defending grimly here. So the Bays with that first little foray forward.
30 out from Glenelg's goal front. Wilson. He pushes the ball away, goes back in to try and knock it. Picked up by Snook, whose kick is a goal! Is a goal! Is a goal!
You've been quiet today, Snooky. He's coming alive at the right time.
Glenelg get the first of the last quarter. 12-7-79. Adelaide 8-7-55. The goal scorer, Matthew Snook.
And hasn't he turned his career around? About 3 years ago, he was on the crossroads. He was playing reserves footy, and he's worked his way back into this side to be a real contributor for them, and that's the most important goal of his career to date.
First goal of the quarter, thanks to Bone Timber. Thanks for their sponsorship this year. And just having a look here, 6 unanswered goals to the Bays now. The last goal Adelaide kicked was at the 11-minute mark of that third term. Hunter was the man who kicked it. An ugly kick, but it was straight. So 12-7-79 to 8-7-55. The question popped by the Bays to the Crows. Hunter knocks it down, looking for Wilson. Wilson tackled by Agnew, is one of the best in the business. Here goes White, just grabbed it.
Well
that was terrific, just got it on the boot. Scott was his target, couldn't take the mark. Reynolds really hovering. Well done by Otten, handball over the top. Nicely done to McHenry. McHenry's got to hit a target up, and he's overcooked the kick, and Bradley couldn't quite take it, but White was there. There's been everywhere. Gets nailed! Jesse, you're a bit slow.
No one told him.
No.
And your opposition, Ruckman, gotcha.
Yeah, he had to be a midfielder as well then. Yeah, they're asking a bit much of him.
Strawn.
Oh, that's dangerous.
Oh, it hovers. That ball hovers. Nicholson with a front on. And Wilson. Handball to Boyle, now to Scholl. Crows will go inside 50. Scholl with a little miss kick off the side of the boot. Up they fly. Over the back, Davis. Oh, couldn't pick it up. Hit his bootlaces. He's close to the line. McHenry, we know he's clever. He can't get the footy this time. Tries to knock it out. Bays defend grimly. McAdam over the top with the tackle. It'll be a ball up right forward pocket. Adelaide in attack, about 30 metres out from their goal.
It was clever by Greekson there. He went in sideways. If he had went in head on it, we would have given him a free kick, chance for goal.
Early stages, final term, so much at stake. Fogarty took the ball and was dragged away, and it's over for a throw in. Don't write the Crows off. They've shown throughout this year a horror season of 2018 have come to play. They want to have a crack at Port. So too to Glenelg. Everything's at stake. Throw in. Now it's Fogarty there. Now there's a push out, I think. Umpire, is that off the ball? Jesse White's got a free kick.
In the ruck contest, pushed him out, yep.
So Jesse White has it, and his kick is marked there by Virgin.
I don't think Strawn's very happy with that, and he's probably got every right to be. He wasn't much in it.
Now Virgin kicks the ball as if it's about 30 seconds of play remaining in the last quarter. He went across towards Bradley.
They've got spares here, the
They
Tigers.
have.
Oh, yeah, my word, they have.
They have, and the kick by was to Gould, who was all right.
By the time they get there, McBean and Scott will be in the forward 32.
Well, they're swinging the ball down the ground towards half forward where Close runs at it. That kick was poor and it bounces over the boundary line. So for all of the possibilities that were building up then, it finishes up being a big fat duck egg.
Yeah.
No result on the score. 8,974 fans here, and Glenelg 12-7-79, Adelaide 8-7-55 in the last quarter. We've gone 5.5 minutes.
Long kick to the outer side. Hunter's at the back. Snook read it well. Little quick handball away to Curran. Curran's real floater. Nicholson's gone. He's gone.
Oh, too high.
Too high. Wow. Patrick Wilson looks at the umpire and says, surely not.
Giving a couple of free kicks away today, Paddy.
Partington's kick, it's got a bit of air time with it. Reynolds couldn't take the mark, probably the first mistake he's made all day. Tried to get it to Agnew. Agnew tried to get it back to him. Stengel, little fumble, but then got it away. Jones to Hamill, who fell over and then slung off the kick. Agnew, now back to Partington. Bays with all the momentum. Partington's scrubby old kick. Which way will it bounce? It bounces over the back to McBean. Can he get it on the Motlop? Yes, he can. Motlop this way, that way. Oh, some candy. Shoots a goal and misses. Wow, some real smarts there from Motlop, as we know the Motlops can do. But behind, it would have been a sensational goal. 12-8-80 Glenelg. Adelaide 8-7-55. Peter Walsh.
Stating the obvious, Crows need the next goal.
Yep.
They're doing it hard. They're desperately doing
again.
it hard. Now the short pass in defence. Wilson can't get it. Short pass is on for Motlop.
He needs to kick this one, Motlop, because he probably should have handballed that ball over to Agnew just a minute ago. Darcy Bailey.
Marlon Motlop, 20 goals for the season before he has a snag at this one. He kicked one. He's 30 out.
A few of the Crows boys starting to cram too.
A few errors in the Crows team just starting to come to the fore at the moment. There was a poor kick there by Boyle.
Yeah,
Motlop on the march, 35 out directly in front. Motlop's kick is disappointing. It's a behind. The door is still ajar. The door is definitely still ajar. Glenelg 12-9-81. Adelaide 8-7-55 in the last turn. We've gone 6.5 minutes. A couple of poor shots at goal.
1 goal, 4 to Marlon Motlop today. Hasn't had the kicking boots on.
The door, Peter, has got one of those small little door stops in it.
Does that mean it's ajar?
It's just ajar, slightly.
Yeah. The big difference between the two teams, though, is that in the rolling ball contest and the ground contest, the Glenelg players stay in the contest longer.
From the boundary throw in. Virgin tracking it. Slid. Got it. Got away. Now to Agnew. Gee's been good, Agnew. To McCarthy. Now back to Gregson. They're building
1-2.
something here. Got it in the 1-2. Back from Bradley. Now the
He's
kick
got him.
inside 50. Scott!
Oh, he's got him. The man with the 8 broken ribs has marked it.
I tell you what, he had every little bit of air knocked out of him in that third term. He went off the ground and we thought, will he be back? He composed himself, ran to the huddle at 3/4 time and said, I'm up for it. And now we could seal this game with a kick. They'll be hard to beat from here if Scott can get it.
They just haven't had the matchups today to go with Scott and also McBean and Reynolds. They're just two
They've
three
struggled all
marking
day,
targets.
haven't they?
Yeah.
Let's have a look at the kick.
I'm going to mark him down again.
Another big call from Bernie Marnie from right on 50. Scott, he's kicked 2. He's kicked 3.
Good boy.
They could be home.
Hand over the money, boys.
Premature.
Josh Scott. The kick by Partington to Scott was outstanding. 13-9-87. to 8-7-55. Are the Bays off to another grand final?
What can the Crows do now? Can they, and who can they get to bring them back into this game? They're 5 down. We've only gone 8 minutes. We've got another 20 left.
Yeah, well, they're getting some of the clearances. When they've had Fogarty, they're sort of the guys who are getting in after the footy. They just need to be able to take a mark inside forward 50. Maybe one of their big blokes, Himmelberg, has been quiet.
He's injured.
Stand up.
He's in trouble, Himmelberg.
Yeah, well, he needs to stand up and take a mark.
I don't think that. I still think they're wasting their time with McHenry out here. I mean, you've got to get McHenry in the middle. I mean, Stingle's not working in the middle.
Yeah.
And Fogarty's not working in the middle. You need speed at ground level in the middle.
Kick out of the middle, McCarthy. How about Jesse White? How good's his last quarter been so far? He has owned the Sharon. Hunter marks at halfback for the Crows. They need to find something. Kick towards Himmelberg, who dives and marks. And he's a long way from scoring. He's between centre wing and half forward. He goes one way or the other. He's not sure. He's hesitating. He goes for the short pass. That's all right. The hesitation was okay because he waited for the lead and the mark was taken by McAdam, who would have to kick the ball over 50 metres to score a goal.
Yeah, and he can sort of take it a bit easy with the kick. He needs to really go back and kick through this.
The kick from McAdam, who's booted 2. Wipes the hand on the right side of the shorts. Comes in. He's given that a decent roost. A decent roost. It might have hit the timber.
Again.
It's hit the timber. No luck for the Crows, who score for the first time in the last quarter. 8-8-56. Glenelg in the preliminary final, 13-9-87. We've gone the Bo Derek. We're 10 minutes into the last quarter. The Big Ten in the preliminary final for 2019.
Will Gould goes out wide and spots his man. And Curran takes the mark and then gets it to Proud. They're still at half back, inside defensive 50. Proud for Glenelg. Just chips it out wide. And the mark has been taken by Nicholson. Nicholson says, come at me. He goes to the wing. Scott's in the middle of that. Just ran under the footy. Said he got a touch in the back. Close. Got it to Motlop, but it was too close to the boundary line. It'll be a ball in. Wow. 31 points the margin.
Yeah, you have to dig deep here, the Crows, in the next 4 or 5 minutes. Otherwise, it's all gone.
Where has that second term purple patch gone where they owned the footy?
They can't afford to do this. They haven't got time to be doing
Too
this.
slow. They've got no speed at the moment around the footy.
Well,
they need overlap coming from everywhere.
Last touch out of bounds and Stengel just booted it long.
Well, good mark, Himmelberg. Now, Himmelberg is just wide of centre and he goes for the short pass. Davis marks too far out. He turns. No one in the goal square. He waits. He stops. He starts. He rejigs the engine. And he still hasn't gone forward.
He's waiting for Strawn to get back there, I think.
Well, Strawn's having a fair fight with Gould. They're just pushing. Nothing more than that. Let's see. Davis's kick has the elevation. Does it have the distance? Off hands, and it's through for a one-flag result. 2 of those so far on the last term. Adelaide, 8-9-57. Glenelg, 13-9-87. It's 5 goals the difference. 2019 SANFL Statewide Super League preliminary final on digital pass. Let's fire the quick hand pass over to Grant Coffey and Bernie Marnie before Michael Maney.
Well, they're not making the most of their opportunities at the moment, Bernie. They've 2 behinds where they need 2 goals, so the next 5 minutes really important.
Yeah. I mean, Hunter had his back to the guy with the ball then, sitting in the square at 200. I mean, it was just... I mean, they're all tired, but you can't lose its concentration. You're just going to have fatigue. You just got to find the concentration.
Yeah. They're trying to get Paddy Wilson back on the ground as well at the moment. He's off, and they can't get the ball over this side to do the interchange.
Do Glenelg try and shut it down, or they've got to keep on attacking?
Nah, keep attacking. Yeah, it's the only way to win.
Free kick here is going to the Bays at half back. It's going to McCarthy. So McCarthy, just one of those stoic Glenelg players, just plays his role. Goes long to the wing. Scott got under it again. Had a second nibble at it, and the umpire said, that's okay. He's taken the mark. Geez, been important. Super important, along with McBean, who's booted 4 goals, I think. Yep. Long kick. Who can take a mark? McBean. Fed out the back, Nicholson. Too much pace. Hustled out of it by Matthews. Matthews a bounce. He just loves to run and carry and then peels the kick off to Fogarty, who takes a good mark in front. Would have been a free kick in any case.
He's got to wheel and go, and he
has to. And he's gone to Matthews, and Matthews can run.
Matthews can run. Don't write the Crows off yet. Don't do that yet, please. Strawn kicks long. Davis will go for it. Oh, Davis trying to claim the mark. Umpire's going to no. He's got to get it.
He's paid it.
He's been given the mark. Two bodies attacking one another.
Yeah,
and Davis has been able to drag the ball in and has paid the mark.
He has marked that.
Yep.
That is an unbelievable mark. He's actually rested on his opponent's back.
Yeah, that's right.
Davis directly in front.
He kicks this, they go in the middle, they bounce it and then get one straight after that. They may be a sniff.
25 out, Davis kicks for goal.
He
hits
missed
the
it.
post.
Stick.
He's hit the big fat white stick
He's
again.
hit the top 5 metres of the post
right,
again,
you're
Peter.
Unbelievable. The Crows.
You're going to get the Grant Coffee Award.
3 chances at goal in this last quarter, and that one the easiest. A behind kick by Davis, and it's now 8:10:58 Adelaide. Glenelg 13:9:87. Almost 15 minutes gone. There is time for anything to happen.
Here's Boyle. Just a little chipping kick is okay and finds Andy Otten on the wing. His last game, it could be, as an Adelaide Crow. Andy Otten looks like he's cramping too, the big fella. Someone needs to run around back behind him because I think he's got the cramp. Kicks off the side of his boot. Horrible kick. They'll fly in the middle of that. No one can take the mark. Strawn, did so well when they kicked it out of bounds of the full.
I like Joseph's work today. I mean, he's been under siege back there, but he's hung in there all day from Glenelg.
Yeah. He's a hard little nut.
Davis. He took one of the marks of the season then, and you just can't miss that.
No, just kill your chances.
One of the easiest shots. Is that a fair call to say?
It is also,
Yeah, sometimes the easiest shot, the easiest putt, they all go wrong, don't they?
He just muffed it. Virgin's kick. Almost to the wing. Good mark. Standing under it, Butts. Had a torrid day, the youngster.
Yep.
He'll learn a lot today. No question about that. Umpire's blown the whistle and says, get on with it. He does. Looks for Himmelberg, who takes the mark. Well, they keep on presenting, do the Adelaide Crows, and they get themselves into a good spot, and they can't finish.
I'd be surprised if I'm expecting him to kick this.
Yeah, he's a good kick. I think
he is.
I think he kicked a couple last week, and from long range, he's normally a pretty good shot on goal.
I saw him out at Centrals one day. He kicked 3 or 4.
The optimist, Bernie Marnie, said Australia will get the runs tonight in the cricket as well. Here's Himmelberg. He's got a bit of a hook on it, but he's got the distance all right.
But he missed the post, so that's all right.
He's missed the post. They're growing, those posts, I think. I think they're getting taller as the game goes on, Grant Coffee.
Well, the logic is, Michael,
they're coffee trees.
If the post was like it was 20 years ago, the goal umpire would have probably caught a goal.
Yeah, look, I've got a suggestion as to what you do with the post, Grant, but we'll move on, will we?
13:9:87 plays 8:11:59.
I still believe they have a chance. If they get the next goal,
need the next
there
one.
is some momentum. They just can't kick straight. That's been the real tale of woe. Glenelg will clear. Gregson at half-back. It's 8:11:59 to 13:9:87. 4 behinds kicked by Adelaide, and Glenelg just holding the ball. We haven't gone 25 minutes. We've gone 16. There is a chunk of time that is substantial.
Glenelg don't want to do this. They're going to keep attacking. That's what got them into the position in the first place. Don't fall down now.
Well, Chris Curran had the ball at half-back. Now, the lead is there from Jonty Scharenberg. It's going to be ignored. The kick down the line towards where it is marked. Otten takes it. Crows will come forward. The kick by Otten, not good. It bounces to Strawn. Strawn's hand pass all right. The run now goes to Wilson, who's back on. Wilson kicks so well towards centre half forward. Fogarty marks. Went one way, then the other. On the left boot, kicked into the forward pocket. Good spoil in defence.
Get that to the boundary line.
Towards where it'll be Partington who'll take it. And he'll run like a cat. And he'll kick so well towards half-back. Bailey out there takes the mark.
Bailey to McBean, who's pushed up onto the wing. Full of running the bays now. Costa had Partington to go back to, but he decides he's just going to hold things up a little bit.
Is he going to go for Motlop or Scott?
Well, who's got the mismatch?
Big Josh Scott.
Here he goes. Kicks it high. Scott. Up
Reynolds
takes the
Reynolds
mark.
over the back.
The wild card in that conversation was Luke Reynolds. And he trots back. And surely a goal here will put it away for the Bays for good.
Adelaide have been in attack for the last 7 minutes for 4 behinds. That means nothing.
You're right, Pete.
Can't afford to do that. And this could be the sealer here. He's a beautiful kick on goal, Luke Reynolds. He's already kicked the 3.
He has. This for goal number 4 and a place in the grand final, you would think. And it is gun barrel straight. Bays fans, get your tickets. Get in and load this ground up next week. You're off to a grand final for sure. Unless Peter Walsh can say they're still in at Adelaide. But here we go.
I just don't like to write anyone off. I want a close one, and I want to know whether or not we'll get a chance to talk about Glenelg's premiership team in 1986. I've read it 100 times. That's because the next door neighbour keeps reminding me. How exciting is this going to be for a week of football when we talk about the Glenelg team and its history, and Port and its history? Wowzers, it'll be on.
7 unanswered goals in the end. 14-9-93 Glenelg. Adelaide 8-11-59. We've gone 19 and a half minutes.
When you get a bloke who knows where the goals are, like Cool Hand and Cool Boot Reynolds, he did that in style. The bounce. McBean on the ball. Now it's Gallucci, who swings the Crows forward to the right boot towards where Joseph is there. Can't take the mark, but he sockers the ball off the ground in spectacular fashion to Gregson. Gregson toe pokes the ball towards centre half forward. Looks like Reynolds up there. Short pass marked by Virgin, who says, I'll take the time.
That was good by Gregson. He actually kicked a wrong one.
Yeah,
It wasn't bad at all.
Little check side.
Yeah.
Brad Agnew is our player spotlight. There's plenty of them as Gould takes the possession and kicks to Prowder, who marks at fullback. He'll mark and he'll play on, and Gould will clear the ball for Glenelg.
Gould goes long out wide. Fogarty just wants a body. Got into Scharenberg. It ends up with Himmelberg. Back to Wilson. Wilson on the left boot to Stengel. And Stengel takes the mark, and there's a bit of air being sucked out of the Adelaide Crows crowd at the moment. And Stengel from about 35 metres. He's got one, and they need this if they're going to have any sniff at all. You just sense it just could be all over. Here's Stengel as McBean comes off the ground. Stengel lays back on the kick, and the goal umpire watches it float over his hat. He's got a couple, has Tyson Stengel, and the Crows have 9-11-65. It may be all too late. Glenelg 14-9-93, 21 gone in the prelim final.
Yeah, he's taken Mr. McBean off, giving him a rest.
And Jesse White has to come back on, and he said, how about me for a rest, if you don't mind, big fella?
Yeah. Perhaps Jesse just might like it. I think he likes the work, doesn't he? He didn't seem to complain too much about it.
He's got the right knee strap now as well, and saw him warming up on the interchange there. So great to see him back on the ground.
Snook's racing down to full forward. Otten will stand that player. As we know, that's not Otten down there. I think Seymour's gone there to look after him. We're going to see the ball.
Eighth full forward for the day.
We've gone 21, almost 22 minutes. Umpire's taking an eternity to work out what's going on. And whilst that's happening, Glenelg making some changes in defence and being able to do that. Ball tossed in the air. Jesse White did well. Hand pass. Paholke on the run. Got a hand pass. That was all right. Gallucci kicks for the Crows. It bounces in towards full forward. Joseph's there. Joseph is cool. Hand pass to Proud, who's more than happy to see it run through for behind to the Adelaide Crows. In this term, they have kicked 1 goal 5. They're 9-12-66. Glenelg 14-9-93. 22 and a half minutes gone. Won't be a long quarter. We've only had 4 goals.
Yeah, and we've only had Adelaide's 1 goal in the last minute or so, where they needed a lot more at the start of this quarter. It's the Tigers set themselves up for a crack at Port Adelaide next week.
Reynolds back to Curran. So Curran and McBean, the two players who are under a lot of pressure and under injury clouds during the week, have really come up and done exceptionally well. Curran's been outstanding.
Yeah, he's been his last couple of years, Curran, he's really stood up and gone to the next level as a footballer.
Here's Matthews. Matthews goes long. Himmelberg's there. He flies off the back of the pack. McAdam, just tackled. Dropped the footy, holding the ball.
Yep.
And that defence of the Bays has been so good. You've had Gould, you've had Scharenberg, and you've had Joseph, who's the man who laid that tackle. It's been so good. Michael Virgin running through there. It stood up.
23 and a half gone. Glenelg 14,993. Adelaide 9:12.66. Be very careful on the Anzac Highway tonight. Drive carefully to the bay. There could be some celebrations. Because Motlop's on the run. Motlop's at 45. Motlop's kick for goal. He's kicked 2. Glenelg will win the preliminary final for 2019. Glenelg will play Port Adelaide in the grand final for 2019 at this venue next Sunday afternoon. Glenelg 15,999. Adelaide 9:12.66. Almost 25 minutes gone in the final term.
It took until the 24-minute mark for them to convince you that they would win too.
I need convincing.
He's kicked 2, Marlon Motlop, Peter. He probably should have 4.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's had some opportunities today, and that one was probably his hardest one.
That's right,
Running
yeah.
at full pace and had to kick it from just inside 50. Fabulous goal.
He's a goal scorer. He's kicked 22 goals this season, and they keep selecting him on a half-back flank. Work that one out.
9 goals to 2 after half-time by the Bays. What a game of footy. What a performance. Just Pip last week had to come through the prelim. White tackled. Gallucci away to Wilson. Outstanding this season. Let's hope he gets some AFL time next year. Oh, Davis didn't quite know what to do. Finally got a handle on it. Then the kick. Agnew just knocked it away from Matthews. Falls to Gould. Now back to Partington, who goes short and finds close at halfback.
I think this will do Glenelg good. I mean, it's sometimes you're better to play going into the grand final. Go in Flint hard.
Yep.
And the second half they've kicked away, so they're not going to be worn out. They're not banged up. So it's just. Yeah, I think it'll suit them.
Chris Curran just a little bit shaky as he was involved in an altercation. Quite fair, but he's been treated and said to the runner, take a walk, so he's getting back into his position. This big noise is created by the Tiger fans. Throws into attack into the forward pocket. It skids away, and there will be a throw in. 26 minutes gone in the term. Glenelg 15,999. Adelaide 9:12.66. And there's a group of Bay supporters underneath the magnificent old scoreboard here. And they're making one hell of a racket.
Snouts louts, you would think.
I would think they could be, and a few more.
Davis has got the footy. That's a real lazy kick into the pocket, but it's okay. And Gallucci takes the mark. He rushes back with intent and says, I've got to get this one away quickly if we're going to have any chance at all. 26 gone. Gallucci lines them up, threads the needle.
Kick.
Good goal. Wonderful kick by Jordan Gallucci. He gets his second, and the Crows get another one. They get their 10th. 10-12-72 to 15-9-99.
He knew he had it, didn't he? He kicked it and then ran away to the bench before it had even gone through. He, like the golf shot, he's just sort of nailed it.
And you do, obviously, fellas, too. You wonder about the number of players who are playing in this Crows outfit from the development squad, and who will make the necessary step, who will be in the side. Well, we don't know the coaches yet, but they're playing for pride as well as perhaps their future.
Yeah, McHenry should have been in there this year. I mean, apart from his lower back problems.
Yeah, a few injuries.
And Hamilberg's got to go in there too. I mean, it's just...
McAdam will be in there. Fogarty's going to be in there. So there's 4 players straight away.
Yeah. It's easy to find 4 to get rid of.
10-12-72, the Crows. Glenelg 15-9-99. 27 and a half minutes of play gone. Here's our good mate out there, kicking it forward. That, of course, was Motlop in towards the half-forward line. There's a scramble. And there will be a toss in the air. Some leg-weary warriors from both units. Working so hard right throughout this Sunday afternoon. Tapped away. Gallucci was there almost. Paholke. The ball kicked in towards centre half forward. Butts does the hand passing. Crows will relieve, but they've been under siege in this last quarter. Bounces back towards centre wing. 28 minutes gone. 15-9-99, 10-12-72. Snook! Snook's kick is long and strong, but it's marked in defence there by Otten. Into the last couple of minutes of the prelim final, which will be won by Glenelg.
Scholl takes the mark at half-back. He's a good player too. He might find himself getting a game or two. Scholl. Yeah. This bloke Jones will certainly play some games, but he gets mown down here, turns it over. Bailey, little chip, Reynolds. This would put, as Dan Lonergan used to say, the icing on the cake.
Yeah, and that Chase Jones hasn't had the best of days today. And
no, he hasn't. You're right, Coffee. He just hasn't had the influence that he should have.
And another turnover by the Crows.
Yeah, they haven't been bad at giving the ball back.
For 5 goals and a remarkable performance by Luke Reynolds. This kick from right on the paint of 50 to make it a 33-point margin. A skip. It's a good kick. It's a straight kick. Goal number 5, Luke Reynolds. Well played, young man.
Good form going into a grand final.
The Bays lead this one by 33. No one's going to reef this off them. 16-9, 105 to Adelaide, 10-12, 72. What a performance. 10 goals to 3 in the second half.
10-5 to 2-6. That's not a bad second half of football, is it?
Yep.
They've smacked them around, haven't they?
They have. Yeah. And Luke Reynolds, 5 goals. When I see Luke Reynolds now, I'm thinking to myself, over the last couple of years, he's really matured as a player. And he was at Carlton, and he probably could actually do some damage in Carlton's forward line at the moment.
Leave them out of this equation, will you? We'll hear the theme songs at the end of the game because we're close to being at the end of the game. 10-12-72. That might be increased because the ball has worked forward and it's marked by Fogarty with Glenelg at 16-9, 105. And Fogarty to kick right on 50. And we are at 30 minutes of the final quarter. Wax your larynx, get ready. Fogarty comes in. He's kicked at a fair distance.
That's a big kick.
And there's the siren, and there's a goal to Fogarty. And there's a win in the preliminary final to Glenelg. The Tigers, 16-9, 105, have defeated Adelaide, 11-12, 78. And Glenelg will play next week in the grand final against Port Adelaide in the SANFL statewide Super League grand final. Let's hear it for the mighty Tigers. What a win, what a victory, and it epitomises what football is all about, with both teams getting across and warmly congratulating one another. A game that was played in good spirit. I'm very careful and cautious about how you sum up a sporting contest only seconds from when it's ended, but it did appear as if significant respect for both football teams against each other, and the best one came out in front. Glenelg 16-9, 105. Adelaide 11-12, 78. For Glenelg, 5 goals to Luke Reynolds, 4 goals to Liam McBean, 3 goals to Josh Scott, 2 goals to Marlon Motlop, and singles to Partington and Snook. For Adelaide, 2 to Stengel, 2 to McAdam, and 2 to Gallucci. Singles to Matthews, Davis. Fogarty got 2 in the finish with that last goal, and to Hunter. 16-9, 105 to 11-12, 78. Let's get a quick wrap now from our experts this afternoon on our digital pass coverage. And the experts, of course, Grant Coffey and Bernie Marnie, who incidentally will be firmly ensconced in their same seats next week for the grand final, where Port Adelaide now